course of the rest of the season where it's going to go for us, against us. You just got to make sure you do the business and don't, when you have an opportunity, you try not to slip up.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of that home win against Oxford, really convincing. And then a good win the other night. It does in this kind of chunk of 4 Christmas, New Year scheduled matches. It's putting us in a really fantastic position to capitalise and build on that.
Well, the games are coming thick and fast, aren't they? And the momentum that you can gather, and the home form here has been unbelievable, hasn't it? Sort of every game I've been to, it's been so comfortable for the team. Teams are coming back and just sit in the back and trying to protect anything they can get hold of, and we've come through them flying colours, 2-0 wins, 3-0, and then you go to Stoke with a great performance away, clean sheet as well, which again sets up tonight's performance against the Derby team, which, look, I saw them the other week and I was so disappointed with them, but they've had a couple of decent results in the last 3 or 4 games now, and it depends which Derby county turn up tonight. But again, it's what Leeds United can do and what Daniel's going to set out the team to do, and that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, the players are arriving there. Tanaka is back in the team tonight. Joe Rothwell makes way, so it's Ethan Ampadu and Tanaka. And then, interestingly, tonight, fascinating to get your view on this. Daniel Farke, we know there's a really strong squad there, but it's a totally changed front 3. Joel Piroe, who scored 2 at Stoke, he's on the bench tonight. Matteo Joseph gets the nod, and it's Laji Ramazani and Willie Gnonto making their way through the tunnel. They get the nod as that front 3 tonight. 3 changes. Dan James, Manor Solomon and Joel Piroe find themselves on the bench today.
Well, I think when you... job, and they don't have to be too... I'm trying to be critical. I'm a defender, so I'm trying to sort of justify why defenders are valid players in the team. But at the top end of the pitch, you have to be that spark, that energy, that cleverness, that sort of on the front foot. And ultimately, when you look at our front 4, you can change any of them at any particular time, and I don't think it makes the team any weaker, to be fair. So it's good to have that squad to rotate it around. I think if you're Joel Piroe, you're thinking, I've just scored 2 goals, I want to go get another goal, and obviously, but Daniel's showed over the last few weeks that he's managed the squad really well, and that's kept everybody on the toes, but kept the freshness within the group, which has led to positive results.
One of the things that you do look at is you look at the team and you don't think to yourself, well, there's a dip in quality, which of course is the luxury that Daniel Farke has with the team. I mean, not all managers get that. That's kind of the dream situation to be in, to know you've got a bulk of players. And yes, there have been some injuries, but players back now, generally speaking, it does give him kind of a riches of players to pick from.
Well, it does, and I think what he's done is Daniel picks a team against the opposition that maybe suits certain personnel. It looks like over the last couple of weeks that Solomon and Dan James have been a partnership on the left and right, and then Gnonto and Ramazani comes in, but he can just mix it up for any particular game. It'd be interesting to see what the team's going to be against Blackburn at the weekend, but that's for another day, obviously. But yeah, it's just that freshness. How many other teams would love to have the competition for places that we're fortunate to have, and the quality that we've got that makes it sort of such a really easy decision for the coach to do.
And from a manager's point of view, when you're talking about managing players, it's not just managing their minutes, but it's about managing them as human beings, right? Who all want to be on the pitch and who all want to be playing. You've got to keep a happy camp. Everyone needs to chip in and do their bit.
Yeah, I think modern day football has sort of been like this for quite 5-10 years maybe. When I was here, you never used the reason that they were arrested, they were dropped. But now it seems to be common theme that using the word that we're rotating, we're resting players. Well, maybe as a coach, you're thinking, well, you're not played very well, I'm actually dropping you, but I'm going to tell you that you've been rested as well. So it's all a little bit of mind games. But I'm sure at the start of the season and going into little blocks throughout the season that Daniel will say, right, you're all going to be required, especially at this Christmas period where you've got 4 games in such a close proximity together, and you've got to make sure that you're all ready. And again, then players coming into the team have to make sure that they're ready to produce, because again, I think I've said this before, that if you don't do yourself justice, you'll be sat next to Daniel a little bit longer than you want to be.
OK, we are building up to a huge game at Pride Park. Leeds United taking on Derby tonight. We were very worried after you said that you were upset about defenders not getting the limelight, not getting the glory that they very much deserve. So here's the thoughts pre-match of Leeds United's defender, Pascal Struijk.
Well, Pascal, these games come thick and fast at this period of the season. Is everybody ready for another one?
Yeah, I mean, we need to be. We are ready. I feel like as a team we're nice and ready. We're fit, everybody. So people coming back from injury, so it's only good for the team.
The form has been good in the last few weeks. Can you carry that into this game tonight?
That's something we will try for sure. I mean, every game will be a tough one, but you know we have to show why we want to be at the top of the league and also why we want to win all the games.
You've played this side recently. Does that make any difference to the way the game goes this evening or not?
For me, no. I mean, they will probably maybe change a little bit from what they did at Ellen Road. They'll have the home crowd today, so maybe that will drive them on. But for us, nothing changes, and we'll just try to win a game.
So there you go, Pascal, with his thoughts ahead of the match. Interesting, the first words he said there, we need to be. When asked, you know, are you ready for this? And I guess that is the case, and we've seen this particularly in some away games. They need to be ready for everything that's thrown at them because these aren't gimmies.
No, they're not, and certainly a decent crowd. What, there'll be 30,000 there tonight at Pride Park, and on a decent run in the last 3 or 4 games since they came here and were really poor. So the players will have recovered well, they've done the work, they'll have travelled down, they got rested up, and they'll be ready to go. But I used to love playing in this Christmas period, games after games after games. You're sort of battered and bruised, and then before you know it, you're back on the pitch and you're playing again. And especially if you're winning, you just want to get out and play. And they've got to be ready. It was great the other night to sort of leave a little bit of a marker that the away form hasn't been great to go to Stoke, who I thought were quite average to say the least. This will be a different perspective because there's a little bit of rivalry between Leeds and Derby, as we all know. 30-odd thousand at Pride Park is going to be a little bit more hostile than it was at Stoke's ground the other night. So they've got to be careful at the start. Don't start the game poorly, and make sure that if they're on the front foot, dominate what they're doing. It could be another good night for us.
Yeah, 2 of these away games coming in quick succession. Stoke the other night with a 2-0 win for Leeds. Simon, be glad you weren't on the rota for LUTV because it was hard to analyse half of the game we couldn't see because of the fog. But in terms of the performance, Joel Piroe here and what a finish this is.
Well, it was weird because when I was watching the game, it's like you're thinking he's just got to square it back across to somebody else and then bang, it's in the back of the net. And it's like he's put it in probably the only position that the ball could really go, and it is a great finish, to be fair. It was a great move before that because you saw the pass from Rothwell into Aaronson and then Aaronson into Piroe. You're getting into them pockets. Aaronson, lovely time run, weighted pass, and you're just thinking might dink it over him, but the keeper does all right. But then you're thinking, what is that Solomon that he's maybe going to square it to? And then all of a sudden it's bang, top corner, and 1-0. But yeah, lovely goal, not great defending, big gaps between, but really well worked goal, and Solomon have been screaming for that, but what a finish.
Yeah, Joel Piroe, must be full of confidence. I mean, like we've mentioned, he'll start from the bench today, but as you also said, these games come so quickly. But there was a noticeable good tempo that Leeds played with against Stoke, which Daniel Farke has talked about, getting that tempo right, especially in those games away from home. Is that something you felt watching them? Yeah,
I think when you go to the away grounds, like on a Boxing Day night, you've got to make sure that you sort of take care of the ball and make sure you don't give too many opportunities to the opposition, the home team. But you've still got to pass it with a purpose and look for your forward run. This is a great goal. One, the pass from Bogle, a run behind from Dan James, and then he just puts it on a plate for Piroe, just to head it in. So there's a way of keeping the ball and taking a sting out of the game, but you want to be doing something with it. You've got to make sure you're sort of passing with a purpose, playing 2-touch, 1-touch, especially when you get that final third, be explosive, be productive, and certainly Leeds didn't look in any trouble whatsoever, did they? And look at the joy in the faces of the team, and right across to the supporters in that far corner.
Yeah, I mean, we're showing the goals here from the game. Joe Rodon was interviewed after the match, and the first thing he referenced when talking about the match was a really important save from Illan Meslier right at the start, just a few minutes in. Could have gone 1 goal down. Close range save it was. Illan Meslier, along with Sam Byram, actually, both make their 200th appearances for the club. On Illan, it's a moment when you're a goalkeeper who's maybe not doing as much as some of the other goalkeepers in the league. You've got to be ready to go, and he certainly made a huge save at the start of that game.
Well, I think when you you look at your goalkeepers, you wanted to make sure that when they have a save to make, that they produce them saves. And to be fair to Meslier, he's done that in recent weeks. I can't remember which game it was here, at 1-1 or 1-0 maybe. Somebody's gone through 1-on-1 against him and he's made a big crucial save. I think about 10 minutes later turned into 2-0. And that was a defining moment, like the save was the other night as well. So, and it's hard, like you mentioned there, that when the team have 70-80% possession and you hardly have anything to do with hands, you've got to make sure you're ready to make a save when it comes along. And fair credit to him, he's made saves. He's made a few mistakes, but that's what goalkeepers, that's what happens to them, don't they? They get scrutinised so much, and he has produced some good saves when he's needed to.
Yeah, well, 200 appearances up for Illan Meslier and Sam Byram. The first time in the club's history, two players have made their 200th appearance on the same match day. OK, let's head back to Pride Park. We are closing in on kick-off, just around 15 minutes to go. So let's get the thoughts of our commentary team, as always, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
It's a pretty mild December evening here for Leeds United's final game of 2024. And what a big game it is as well. Leeds United with a chance to get back on top of the table if they can win this one. Maybe even a point would do for the time being. Team news, well, there have been quite a few changes to talk about. 4 in all, which is a bit of a surprise, isn't it, Tony?
It is a bit of a surprise, but I suppose when you look at the squad depth that we've got, but in come 4 players. So Joseph, Ramazani, Gnonto and Tanaka all come back in. So clearly all those players will be eager to prove what they can do, and they get the opportunity.
Are we guessing that that's about the load, if you like, at the moment, the number of games in a short space of time?
I think it has to be, especially when you've got that quality. If you haven't got that quality, then you'd be worried trying to nurse your players through. But we have, and so they'll be itching to play. We saw that, didn't we, at Stoke with Tanaka left out in that particular game. Now he's been brought back in. But the likes of Ramazani and Gnonto, that's interesting because they must be so eager to get out there and play. But James and Solomon have been very, very good. Now they get their chance.
We saw Derby just a few weeks ago at Ellen Road. They weren't very good, in all honesty, but I think we're expecting a much tougher challenge this evening, aren't we?
We are. Recently, they've been not bad at all. They beat West Brom 2-1 here as well. That will give them some confidence. Always difficult, we know, away from home, but surely, looking at that side that played against Derby and the way that Derby played as well, we dominated the game. It was 2-0. It could have been a lot more. Same again, how we performed at Stoke. Should get the job done.
You've played here?
Yeah.
Do they generate an atmosphere when there's something like a full house, as there will be this evening?
It'll be a good atmosphere, absolutely. It's a really nice, friendly club. I enjoyed my couple of years here, but they're not as demanding, or the expectations are a lot lower than ours, I'm sure. But we have got a hell of a team, we've got a hell of a squad, and these guys are just trying to survive. So it's a different sort of goal that we're both aiming for. So coming in, a lot of the guys out there were asking me, don't beat us too heavily. And I said, no, we will. It's okay. We'll hope so. Let's hope so anyway.
And Leeds are in the position of having been able to watch Sheffield United earlier. We were listening to it as we were travelling down. Yeah. So there's a couple of points being dropped in a home game there, which does offer a little glimmer of something for Leeds for this one, doesn't it?
It does, but also it's a warning, because it doesn't matter who you're playing, you can drop points, here, there or everywhere. And that, of course, Sheffield United at home against West Brom. I said a few weeks ago that this Christmas period, a lot of top teams are playing each other, whereas we have got some not quite straightforward games, but games that are winnable. Let's go and make use of that, and this is one of them tonight.
This is a big game for Leeds United, no doubt about it, away at Derby County.
Yeah, Brendan Tony with your commentary coming up at 5:45 kick-off. This one, 15 minutes to go. This second of the away fixtures over the Christmas period. Bryn sort of said they weren't very good, Derby, when they were here. You sort of touched on that as well. And I think Paul Warne, the manager said it as well, that they got outplayed. This was a pretty straightforward win. The only surprise maybe in the game was where the goals came from. Back in that game here at Ellen Road from the defenders. I don't think anyone had two defenders scoring. Again, we want to give the defenders their fair airing. But this one, you can see the goals from the game. It was a pretty straightforward game in the end, wasn't it?
It was. And when you see Joe Rodon score here, he had an easier header than that just before it, and he missed the target. But I think you see the delight for him getting on the score sheet, and the delight for the players that he managed to do that as well. And yeah, Derby came and played 5 at the back and really just got behind the ball and didn't offer a threat whatsoever. I think I think I was doing co-coms, and it was like 80 minutes before they actually had a shot, and it wasn't even. It was couldn't really say it was a shot. To be fair, it was a bit of a gesture. So they weren't very good that particular night, but that afternoon. But it's a different game now. They've got some decent results the last few weeks. But if we can put on the same performance, pass the ball well, be clinical in both boxes, because full credit to the back four, they've defended well, they've kept the clean sheets, because I think we always feel that we're going to score goals with the players that we've got on the pitch at any particular time. Set pieces has been a massive improvement with the delivery from Rothwell, who's back in the no, he's not back in the team, he's out tonight, isn't he? So it'll be interesting to see who takes the set pieces, but yeah, it's nice to see people getting forward, getting shots.
Yeah, Max Verber there, I mean, sort of coming in the number 9 position, really, almost.
Yeah, and he'd just come off the bench, hadn't he? I think early on in the game. I think Firpo had gone off injured, hadn't he? And he played really well that day. But again, that's what Daniel wants his fullbacks to do. We've seen Bogle over most of the season getting forward, assists and goals, and we was there at the right time to put it into the back of the net. So you want anybody to score, but it does send out messages when centre backs and full-backs are scoring as well.
Here he goes again. It was interesting hearing Paul Warne after that match. He described it as the most uncomfortable he'd ever felt on a touchline, which is a really honest admission from a manager, especially knowing you're about to play that team about 3 and a bit weeks later. From a manager's perspective, it's kind of like interesting to hear him talk in those terms.
Yeah, look, you can look at it both ways. You can look at him being pessimistic, but you can also say, well, he's been realistic as well, that he's played against probably the best squad in the division, that they couldn't muster a shot on target, as I said, till about 80 minutes. But this will be a different game. His players have got a bit more confidence from the last few or 4 games. I know Paul really well and his assistant. And they were going through a period of time when they came here where results weren't going well. But there's that huge expectancy at Derby County where they're not, because they're newly promoted, it's not like most newly promoted teams, it's who just want to survive. Derby need to be in the top half based on past history rather than sort of current history. But again, his team will be looking forward to this challenge. And sometimes you can say these things with one eye on the game in a few weeks' time, saying, right, you've got a point to prove. But I think he said it not realising that he'll play us in 3 weeks' time, because as a coach manager, you just think about the next game, really.
Yeah, it does take a confident man to pull off the bobble hat as well, but he did it with rocking it with some style down there at Pride Park. Okay, it's a festive period, so our Leeds United players and former players have been getting in the festive spirit by making their own Christmas cards. We gave the chance to your former striker, Jermaine Beckford, to see how he got on. I think it's fair to say, doesn't sound like this, Becks, at all, slightly milked it.
Right, let's see what we got. Ethan Ampadu, who's going to be easy to draw? Not Pascal. Decorating a Christmas tree. Start with a tree. I'll tell you what, that's a great start. But what's that box for, I hear you asking? Well, for the baubles. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm crazily impressed with the incredible tree I've done so far. Who doesn't like a bit of tinsel on their tree? We'll start off with the arm coming in and the hand going around. It could be either one of them, to be honest. Please don't judge me. Right. How good is that? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is going to be Pascal, so in advance, I'm sorry, mate. There you go. There you go. You're going to get fed up before I do. I'm in the zone now. This is it. Absolutely loving it. This is Ethan Ampadu and Pascal Struijk decorating a Christmas tree. Merry Christmas all.
Bro, I like it.
What do you reckon?
It looks good.
A little bit of room for improvement, but...
Where did you learn to draw like this?
Nude classes.
There you go, Jermaine Beckford. Apologies to the crew from LUTV who had to work overtime so that Becks could finish doing his cover. But here it is in all its glory.
Yeah,
Take a look at that. That's really something special. To be fair, he's put a bit of effort into that. Did he always put a shift in for you?
I wish he had put more time and effort into this card than he did on the pitch sometimes and in training. But I think if he'd not made it as a footballer, I'm not sure going into the card industry would have made him survive financially. So yeah, good job. He was a decent footballer.
Yeah, he's put a bit of effort in there.
He talked a good game as well,
He did
didn't he?
talk a good game. All right, let's focus on tonight's match. That's probably the best thing to do here. Key battles tonight. I mean, Derby, as you said, at home with a front three, they will probably try and create in front of a big crowd as well. Where do you see the key battles tonight?
Yeah, look, Yates is a decent striker. He's been around quite a few years now, and so he'll be looking to impose himself on Joe and Pascal. You're looking at sort of Mendez-Laing as well. Got strong boy, got powerful, quick. I think he'll probably play on the right and on the left-hand side possibly. He flicks either side, so he'll be looking to make an impact on the game. But yeah, I think they're the only two really that we'll be slightly worried about. It's about what the team do with the ball tonight, making sure that they keep possession, they play with a purpose, as we mentioned. Just got to be ruthless in both boxes. When the chances come along, make sure you punish them and don't take it too easy. But when you have to defend, keep that mentality that I've been really impressed with, that they've kept so many clean sheets this year. And that's from the goalkeeper making good saves, back four making line clearances or defending the box well. Put all them ingredients together, then you've got a chance of winning again.
Ethan Ampadu there, obviously fantastic to have him. Look, back than everyone expected at some point where people were thinking it would be into the new year, 2025. But obviously played the last few games he's played at central defence. He's now back into that kind of midfield role. It's him and Tanaka today. It was Joe Rothwell the other night. But he really is a pivotal player for Leeds.
Well, he is, because he's versatile as well, isn't he? As you mentioned there, playing centre-back and centre midfield tonight. He still won't be at 100% fit level in terms of sharpness because of the length of time that he was out, but that'll just come with playing games. But he reads the game well, he's good on the ball. It's just nice permutations to have him and Tanaka tonight, Rothwell and Ampadu the other night as well. But also got the luxury of playing him at centre-back or just resting him for the odd game because of the squad that we've got at this moment in time. But he is a leader, and it was an easy decision, I think, for Daniel to make him club captain when he first came. OK,
Leeds are on good form in this Christmas period with a chance to go top and be the top dogs going into the new year as well. Simon, how's this game panning out and what's the score going to be?
I think it'll be like Stoke the other night. I think we'll win 2-0.
All right, lovely stuff. Let's hope it is the case. Over to Pride Park then. It's a big one. It's the final game of 2024. Let's head to our commentary team. Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
Leeds United and Derby County emerge from the tunnel to our left-hand side to the acclaim of a capacity crowd here at Pride Park. It has the look and the feel of a game from a higher division. That's the aim, certainly, for Leeds United at the end of this campaign. Derby County will be happy if they are still playing Championship football, I'm sure. All the signs are, at the moment, that they should be doing that. These two teams met just a few weeks ago. Leeds United came out comfortably on top, more comfortably than a 2-0 scoreline would perhaps suggest, but you would have to feel that this will be a very different sort of game here this evening. The stadium is packed, the noise is loud, the build-up has been big, and it's a great way to go out of 2024. Derby County team is unchanged from their last game against West Bromwich Albion, a game that they won by 2-1. And the Leeds United changes are numerous. There are 4 of them in total. So coming into the Leeds United side, Ramazani, Joseph, Tanaka and Gnonto. And you'll see that the players that they've replaced are all on the bench, which tells us that these are rotational changes perhaps, maybe tactical changes, but Daniel Farke has the opportunity to rest 1 or 2 and give 1 or 2 whose legs are fresher a run out in this important game this evening. The aim of the exercise for Leeds is pretty straightforward. Win the game, go back to the top of the Championship. having watched as Sheffield United dropped a couple of home points in their draw with West Bromwich Albion already earlier today. The other side right up there in the mix, Burnley, well, they play at 8 o'clock this evening. Such is the broken up nature of the Championship programme, even through these festive fixtures. Big noise all around the ground. PA has been blasting out for the last 5-10 minutes now. And there is the feel of a game that Derby County are keen to do well in here. But then isn't that always the case when Leeds United come to town? Leeds are in the yellow change strip this evening. And Derby County are, of course, in their traditional white and black colours. We sit pretty much in the midst of the home supporters here, as you may be able to tell in terms of the atmosphere in the background. And the Leeds United fans are situated on the far side of the ground, exactly as they were in terms of our position at Stoke as well. The big difference between tonight and Stoke is that we can actually see the pitch and we can see the players. And that, let me tell you, is a major bonus. Leeds break from the huddle. And the players delegated with the task of trying to keep the good run going, take up their positions here. Standing over the ball in the centre circle, as Leeds are going to be the team to get the game underway. Matteo Joseph. A word for Ilham Meslier, who makes his 200th appearance for Leeds United tonight, and in doing so becomes the second youngest goalkeeper ever to attain that number of fixtures in this time span for Leeds United. The youngest was Gary Sprake. Referee delays a little in giving the signal, no doubt at the behest of the broadcast floor manager, who stands next to the fourth official at the top of the tunnel. This game with an unusual kick-off time, to say the least, a 5:45 start, which I've got to say I think is a new one for me. We're rapidly moving around the clock now in terms of start times of games, and I think this is another one to tick off here as well. Leeds trying to quickly move the ball up into the Derby half, and Leeds will have a throw-in down the right-hand side. And Leeds have a chance here, perhaps, just to try and mount a first attack of the game.
Yes, I don't even know what day it is, let alone time. Any time it kicks off, as long as we're ready, that's the most important thing. But first thing we have to do here, of course, is just quieten this crowd down.
It's a very fair point. I believe it's a Sunday, but I'm not 100% certain.
If you say so.
Ethan Ampadu, flick on by Gnonto towards the edge of the area. Two teams are playing head tennis before Aaronson gets it down on the ground and gives it to Pascal Struijk, whose pass is a little wayward, but Byram will be able to get back to it. And took it infield to Ampadu, keeping his place in that midfield as Ramazani picks up and charges forward. And Ramazani plays it wide. It was meant for Gnonto. It's come all the way across to the popular figure of Jaden Bogle, who wins Leeds a throw-in on the near side touchline as we watch.
Well, I'm not quite sure he'll get the freedom of the right-hand side like he did on Thursday night against Stoke City, but certainly likes to get forward and already started well.
Aaronson and Bogle link up well. Ball into the middle, just short of Ramazani. That was fantastic approach play to the right side of the penalty area, and it almost opened it up for Ramazani. It was just smuggled away from him at the key moment. Leeds have the ball back on the halfway line. Tanaka back in action. Rothwell, the man who gets the rest for the time being this evening. Great noise inside the stadium, as we were anticipating. The atmosphere is crackling here. Struijk for Leeds United in the centre circle. Now Joe Rodon. Rodon weighs up his options, goes short and wide to Gnonto. Gnonto gets it to Bogle, who gets it back to Gnonto. who curls a lovely looking ball into the middle. Comes out for Aaronson. Aaronson can't quite control it. Gnonto wins the ball back, but the touch is just a little too heavy. All the effort was made in trying to win it back, and it came off him and went behind for a goal kick. But again, another good position created by Leeds United.
Oh, excellent play down this right-hand side. I love the cross as well, just hard and low into the danger area. And then the ball did come out. Almost another chance to strike that goal, but a good start so far, pushing Derby back.
Zetterstrom with the Swedish goalkeeper. Distinctive figure with the head guard on. Leeds have a free kick. Push on Ampadu in the midfield. Ampadu back on his feet.
Yeah, Jerry Yates just going straight through the back. Ampadu, good positioning. That's what he does so well when he plays that holding midfield role. Get to some great positions, just helps out the two centre-halves.
Rodon. Up and over the halfway line. Plays it into Gnonto's feet. Comes at him hard, and Gnonto gets a whack, and Derby tried to get forward, but the pass is overhit. Harness can't get to that one down the left. Gnonto still feeling the effects of that bang in the midriff, but he's okay now. And a little fist bump with Adams. And the game starts again with Tanaka. And it goes to Struijk. And then across to the far side to Byram. Byram plays it wide left side. Ramazani popping up on that wing. Back in field it comes to Pascal Struijk. And now Tanaka. Ramazani pushes it forward for Joseph. Back it comes to Struijk, and now Rodon. Leeds dominating the possession, at least in these early stages. Back it goes into the Leeds half. Now Tanaka on the halfway line. Rodon is to his right, and he gets the ball now. Plays it through the middle for Gnonto. Nice turn from Gnonto. And it comes out wide left side of the penalty area to Byram. Byram tucks it back in for Ramazani. Ramazani turns this way and that, trying to find space. Gives it back to Byram. Byram across the penalty area, and it comes for Byram once more off Aaronson. Leeds have retreated a little, now come forward. Gnonto is onside, and it comes back to the edge of the penalty area for Byram again. Steps into the box and still trying to get the cross in. Comes back out for Aaronson. It's so crowded, breaks through the gap for Gnonto. Gnonto into the middle, and the shot is just wide. That was terrific work down the left side of the Derby area. Gnonto twice foiled the offside trap, and the ultimate touch, I think, from Joseph, just wide.
Yes, so certainly in front of that near post, wasn't it? It's always going to be difficult, and fired in at him, but really good patient play. Probing, trying to find that space, and the change of pace when we do get into those areas there was really apparent. Good play.
So Leeds have made a lively opening to this game, but the scoreline still reads Derby 0, Leeds 0, and we're into the 7th minute. Long kick forward up into the Leeds half. It's quickly delivered back into Derby territory, and then back up into the Leeds half, where Bogle picks it up, plays it infield to Ampadu. Tanaka goes to the left to Byram, who returns the ball to Tanaka. Now on the halfway line is Ramazani. Ramazani to Ampadu. Ampadu across the line to Rodon. Goes back short to Struijk. Byram's got a lot of space down the left, but Leeds are playing in the centre circle at the moment, between Aaronson and Rodon and Struijk. Jackson is back on this near side, watching Bogle, but still nobody's picked up Byram. And now the ball goes in that direction. Byram stretches to win the header into the area to Ramazani, trying to get beyond the defender. It's carried behind. It's a corner kick to Leeds United. Well, they left him alone, Sam Byram, and they almost paid the price.
They did. Byram with the header back in. Ramazani was there, and Curtis Nelson had to try and get across. All he could do was put it out for a corner kick. Now, Obviously, Rothwell isn't playing. His delivery normally is absolutely superb. We need someone else to step up. It's Aaronson.
On this occasion, Brendan Aaronson is the corner taker for Leeds. Nice shape on that one as it comes into the middle. Headed away rather than punched away by the keeper. Delivered back to Aaronson, just outside the area. Holds it up. Is he fouled on the edge?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Leg across him, and it was the Dutchman, Goudmijn, who made the challenge, and it will be a free kick.
Well, the challenge from Goudmijn was certainly from behind. He didn't get any of the ball, but what about that touch from Gnonto? It's coming out the air. Derby players bearing down on him, and outside of the right boot, plays a lovely pass out to the left-hand side.
So this is a really good opportunity for Leeds to swing a ball in close to the goalkeeper from the far side of the penalty area. Ramazani is the man over the ball. I wonder whether he fancies his chances from here, Largi Ramazani. That is an option if he could get it up towards the far corner. Plenty waiting, of course, in the middle for the more conventional ball in. Pushing and shoving going on in there. Rodon and his opponent, Adams. Adams falls to the floor. Rodon looks on, not entirely impressed, and walks away. Adams goes back to pick him up again as they still wait for the free kick to come in. It is whipped in towards the near post from where it's cleared away. And then back into the box, it's headed, and then it's cleared away. It's a proper up and under into the centre circle. Bogle's happy just to head it back into the Derby half, where Harness picks it up. And then down the left-hand side, Mendez-Laing plays it in field for Harness. Mendez-Laing gets it back. Little flick in field. Derby moving forward in numbers for the first time in this game. Harness on the ball again. Goes back into his own half as Leeds get into their shape behind the ball.
Yeah, it was important we actually close that down really quickly as well.
Long ball from the keeper, goes straight to Bogle, into the midfield to Ampadu. Just tidies things up and gives it back to Tanaka. Struijk to the left side and Byram to cross the halfway line for Leeds. Sam Byram still pushing on down that left touchline, and it goes to Ramazani. Ramazani's seen plenty of the ball in these opening stages. Probably enjoying the opportunity, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He can't wait to get out there, and he's good movement, comfortable on the ball, likes to take players on, just buys us some time as well.
Bogle, lovely return pass for Bogle in the penalty area, puts it in towards the near post, and from there it is cleared behind for another corner kick. In fact, final touch was that off a, final touch was off a Leeds man in there, Joseph it must have been. Leeds were expecting a corner, they only see a goal kick.
Well, I'm not quite sure it was Joseph. I don't think he touched it. There was an initial deflection, wasn't there, on the cross that took it towards goal. Bogle was trying to pull it out just a little bit further, but it ended up going straight to the target. No doubt Joseph went for it, but not sure he got a touch.
Down this right side, though, Leeds are getting great joy between Gnonto and Bogle. And the cross count is rising. Ball's cut back into the middle. Waiting for somebody to get on the end of one of them and put it in. Struijk with a header from the defensive position. Harness for Derby. Gives it back to Bogle. Now Gnonto fouled. As he went on a little move forward there, Gnonto. Another man who will be really keen to put on a show here. He'll be very disappointed to have lost his place in the last couple of matches.
And through nearly no fault of his own either, because he's been playing well, but so has Dan James, and of course Solomon's come back in and played extremely well.
Leeds in possession with Ethan Ampadu. A lot of space ahead of Ampadu as he gets over the halfway line. In the middle, Joseph chests it down. Then it's cleared behind for a corner kick from a distance away. Just a boot in there, and Leeds have the opportunity to take their first corner kick from the near side. Now, interestingly, Ramazani is going to be the near side as we watch it, corner taker.
And Aaronson's ball in actually was more than decent. Let's see if Ramazani can do the same from this side.
Looks like it's going to be an outswinger from this side from Ramazani. Remember, Leeds scored from a corner in the game against Derby at Ellen Road. Rodon's in there as well. Ramazani, that's a good ball as well, and it's gone across the crowd, and it's arrived with Aaronson to have a pop at goal. It spins all the way out to the near side of the area, and Ramazani again. He puts the ball back into the middle, and Hines at the far post is there to flick it away, but only as far as Aaronson. Aaronson just outside the area, gives it back to Struijk, clips it into the middle. Again, it's headed clear. Gnonto wins a header back, and Byram comes in, and now it comes back for Bogle. Bogle down the right side for Ramazani. Ramazani back into the middle for Ampadu. Ampadu turns back to keep possession and gives it to Rodon. Now Tanaka. A lot of yellow shirts ahead of Tanaka, but it goes back to Rodon. Just wants to try and get things going again here. Square ball. Gnonto's gone down that left side for Leeds now. He's moving down that left channel as well. Helps it out to the edge of the area to Byram. Byram comes back for Gnonto once more. Into the edge of the box. It's laid back into the path of Gnonto. Wriggles past a first challenge. Trying to get past a second. Just put it in the middle. Wasn't quite where Aaronson was expected to be. And at the end of it all, there's a foul in there that gives Derby a free kick. And it really is a chance for Derby to relieve the pressure.
Well, Derby will be delighted to take a breather. They haven't been able to keep the ball, having to defend left, right and centre. And this will give them a chance just to push up the pitch. But certainly, we've been keeping the ball well. Great ball earlier from Ramazani on this right-hand side as well. Almost too good. No one was at the far post just to nod it home.
So Derby push everybody up into the Leeds half. Derby are 16th in the table currently. That's after today's results thus far. So they've slipped a couple of places, and they sit 6 points above the final relegation spot. The teams at the bottom have had a good day in the Championship, and there have been some typically bizarre results, like Hull winning at Blackburn and Cardiff winning at Watford, Stoke beating Sunderland. So
we can't be one of those.
No, that's right, but it just reminds you that this division has a habit of doing things like that. Its unpredictability is its strength.
Oh, Gnonto, great take that was.
Byram behind him, backing him up. Leeds lose possession just at the key moment, not too far away from the corner flag, which is where the ball remains. And it's hacked forward. It's off Leeds player as it goes out to play, and out for a Derby throw-in, probably just about level with the edge of the Derby penalty area.
Kane Wilson, who was patient there and on his side, a throw-in. Ramazani now is just popping back over to that left-hand side, Gnonto to the right. And they'll rotate, won't they? Aaronson, Ramazani and Gnonto in behind Joseph.
Ball thrown down the touchline, headed back towards the edge of the box as Byram won it in the air. Joseph trying to retrieve the ball again for Leeds, but it's Derby who suddenly burst up and over the halfway line. Ball is played through the middle, and there's a bit of space in front of the forward runner here, Jackson. Jackson into the penalty area, and it comes off a Leeds defender's foot and goes behind, and all of a sudden Derby County have their first corner of the game.
Yeah, some great noise, to be fair, by the home side. Just looking at the seats, there's not a spare seat, by the way, in the stadium, so atmosphere is brilliant to play in, but their first corner kick, it's a huge cheer.
Leeds have their first serious bit of defending to do in the game in the 17th minute, with the scoreboard 0-0. Big line, move in from the edge of the penalty area. Heads go up, headed clear by Rodon above everybody. And the counter-attack is on for Leeds here as Gnonto gets it on the halfway line, and he puts it through the middle. Just a little hopeful. It might have worked because Ramazani was on the charge, but the goalkeeper, Zetterstrom, had seen what was the potential for danger there. He got out quickly and he cleared it into touch in the Leeds half.
Well, I think Gnonto couldn't quite get his foot wrapped around the ball further enough to try and put it into Ramazani's path. You're right, the keeper's positioning was good, but that was half a chance again that we should have had a one-on-one there.
Nice lay through the middle, is almost but not quite into the path of Aaronson. Cleared back as far as Rodon. Leeds begin again from their own half, mid-position. Tanaka back to Struijk. Struijk holds on to the ball and then plays it, lays it off to Tanaka. And now Rodon, forward it goes to Gnonto, rolls off his marker Elder. And Leeds work it through the middle, and Joseph takes it out wide. Helped on to Ramazani, just in from the touchline. And then too far ahead of Joseph from Ramazani. He's pretty quick, but he was never getting to that one. And the keeper's happy just to let it roll on, knowing it's going for a goal kick.
It's one of those where Joseph made the run, and then as soon as Ramazani puts his head down to pass it, he stopped and then had to go again. So he's never going to get there.
A bit of a conversation going on the edge of the Derby technical area. Caden Jackson involved. Paul Warren also out there with his familiar bobble hat on. Leeds win a header from the goal kick. They'll try and progress the ball, but Derby have it back with Goudmijn. And Mendez-Laing, the skipper. Ball back into his own half. Derby just keen to get a feel of the ball, really, because they haven't seen much of it in the opening 19 minutes of this game. And they have still got possession here. Still in their own half. And the man on the ball currently is the tall centre-half, Phillips. Jackson. Oh, that's a poor ball. That's worse than a poor ball. It's a terrible ball from Jackson, and it's given Leeds a throw-in. And it's taken quickly. Bogle gets it back, and then he tried to put his cross in as Gnonto couldn't get to his throw-in. But the ball comes off Jackson, who instigated all of that with his poor pass. And Leeds have another throw-in, level with the edge of the Derby penalty area. Bogle taking his time with this one. Gnonto comes in short, moves away. Aaronson likewise. And then Bogle goes for Joseph, but it's intercepted before it gets to Matteo Joseph. And it's clipped forward by Phillips. Rodon does well to battle around Yates and come out on the other side with the ball. Byram goes back to Tanaka. Into his own half to Struijk. Forward to Gnonto. Can turn. There's space in front of him. Switches play to Ramazani over on the far side. Takes it down on his chest. Nicely down the line to Byram. Comes back for Ramazani again. Ramazani checks back and goes to Tanaka. Ampadu waits square of him in the midfield. Has the ball now, Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu motions teammates forward and then plays it with the outstep, looking to get it in between defenders for a run of Byram. Byram was the furthest man forward for Leeds there as Bogle tried a little flick that, it has to be said, didn't really come off, as you could hear from the reaction of the home fans.
I think that's fair to say. That wasn't exactly what he meant, but really good play once again, patient. But once Ampadu gets the ball and looks up, we need a runner. We need someone finding some space in behind. That time it was Byram trying to get around the back on that left-hand side.
Yates, he tries the fancy flick. This one slightly more successful than Bogle's. And then Tanaka stretches a leg to try and get the ball back for Leeds, but Derby have it on the edge of the centre circle. Just launched up in the air and comes off the back of Bogle and out for a Derby throw-in. Daniel Farker stands currently impassive, hands in pockets, familiar black anorak, and watches on as Derby take the throw-in. Ball in the hands of Callum Elder. Down the line it goes. Rodon comes to cover and does a good job of that. Just lets the ball, shields the man from the ball, lets it bounce out, and it's a goal kick.
Well, we're in the 22nd minute now, and it's been totally dominant again. A few half chances here and there, some good positions in that last third as well, but haven't quite got the breakthrough.
Here's Ampadu. And now it goes to Byram, who puts it back for Ampadu. Kind of sliced that a little, but it is collected by Ramazani as he tries to turn it forward. It comes off the fullback on that right side and goes out for a Leeds United throw-in. Nelson it was, stepping across in front of Ramazani. Byram with the throw. Aaronson. Ball is back in Derby's possession. Clutch of yellow shirts around the man on the ball. And Leeds get the decision for the throw-in, much to the consternation there of Mendez-Laing.
Seemed to come off Aaronson, that one, but we'll take it.
Ramazani. Oh, it's a loose ball. It's gone and given away, and now Derby have the chance to push forward. Goudmijn down the right-hand side. The Dutchman is held up by one, then two challenges, but does end up with a throw-in. And Derby are not in a massive hurry to get forward and take it. Kane Wilson has a leisurely stroll up that far touchline to pick the ball up.
Well, they don't want a high tempo, do they, to this? They'd like a stop-start game where they can just take a breather.
Get the ball into the penalty area here. Rodon doesn't get to the cross. Bogle's trying to get to it on the edge of the area in a battle with Jackson. Jackson has it, just tucks it back into harness. And then it comes off the shins of Ethan Ampadu and out for a Derby throw-in. As the home side just beginning to battle their way back into this contest now. Leeds dominant for the opening 20 minutes or so.
See Daniel Farker as well. He's not happy down there either, just having a bit of a remonstration at someone on the pitch.
Little touch initiated by Gnonto. Comes off Derby foot and behind for a goal kick. Joe Rodon has gone to retrieve the ball. Final game of 2024. Leeds have won a lot, not lost many, but the key game, obviously, in the midst of it all, the one black mark, frankly, was a Wembley playoff final. So there's still work to do to make up for that setback.
Did you need to remind me? I just put that behind me, Brent.
I thought the time might be right.
Okay.
Resolutions and all that.
And all that stuff. Well, let's hope we don't go to that again. We've done the job before we get to those playoffs.
Well, that's what makes these types of games so important, isn't it? Bogle battling, but Derby in possession. Goudmijn down the left-hand side for them. Still going with Bogle, and Bogle actually ultimately wins the battle, as Goudmijn isn't able to keep the ball in play, so it's behind for another goal kick.
Goudmijn certainly works extremely hard, doesn't he? But he was down on the left-hand side there. He's going back now over to the other side to help out. Just slot in there. It's Ramazani.
It's a different looking Derby side to the one that played at Ellen Road. Probably reasons for that. Goudmijn wasn't a starter there. Tanaka and Aaronson. Oh, lovely from Aaronson, but Tanaka can't keep the ball. Ampadu does really well to win it back, and then Gnonto surely is offside here. As he touches it, he leaves it, and then the flag goes up anyway.
Just that second or two delay just puts doubt in everyone's mind, and Elder, the left back, Callum Elder's he's moved forward at the right time. He's caught Gnonto off, but just for a second or two, he was going crazy at the referee's assistant, going, come on, put your flag up. I was doing the opposite, to be fair, but...
Yeah, the defender was looking for vindication there from the assistant.
And he was right.
He got it ultimately. Gnonto didn't know whether to go for the ball or just to walk back. The flag went up anyway. Zetterstrom is out of the penalty area to take the free kick. To the edge of the penalty area from where it's headed away, headed back into the penalty box. Meslier's got to come and gather that one, which he does. And then he throws it out over arm to Tanaka. Back it comes to Struijk. Meslier out the penalty box to Rodon. Rodon over the halfway line. Still going. Ball into Ramazani through the referee. Ramazani drops a shoulder. Works it well to his left to Tanaka. Plenty push forward. Into the edge of the area, comes back out for Ramazani, cleared away from him. Ampadu header wide to Byram. Tanaka, now Gnonto, rides the challenge, comes for Ramazani, he'll try and curl his shot. Lack power, and it was cleared. Given away by Derby to Ampadu, and Ampadu, well, that was an attempt at a shot from Ethan Ampadu, which he'll want to forget quickly.
Well, if you say that was an attempted shot, okay, I'll go with you, but you're right, it should have been a lot better, shouldn't it? The ball was presented to him. He just stepped forward as well. Took the opportunity to have a go, but it's a long way out. Just get it on target. Make the keeper do something, but all he had to do was pick it out the crowd.
I've seen a lot of Ethan Ampadu playing in various guises, club and country. I've never seen one of those go in.
So you're saying there's a first for everything? Is that what you're saying?
There is a first for everything.
Okay.
Equally, the
That wasn't
likelihood
it.
of it happening then was probably fairly slim. Tanaka to Rodon. All on for Ethan to make us all look silly now, obviously. Gnonto
I hope so.
to Bogle. Back to Gnonto. Bogle to Struijk. Through the middle to Aaronson. Rolls off the marker. Joseph, edge of the penalty area, shoots! Does well. It was low and hard, and the keeper had to react quickly, and he's pushed it behind for a corner kick. Really good play by Leeds.
It really is good. I think a feature so far of this first 28 minutes has been the passing of Joe Rodon going forward, but that time it was Pascal Struijk, his centre-half partner, into Aaronson. Little touch then to Matteo Joseph, and a good snapshot, almost.
So Aaronson will take the corner kick for Leeds in front of the travelling fans. Curled in, heads go up, Struijk can't get there. It's cleared out of the penalty area. Byram with a late lunge is going to be penalised for a clumsy tackle. No more than the free kick being awarded, it would appear. Derby supporters, as you can probably hear, are not entirely impressed.
I'm a little surprised that the referee didn't bring out a little yellow card there, but Byram quickly away from the scene of the accident.
Crime.
Yeah. Off he goes.
It was Mendez-Laing who was the man on the end of that one from Sam Byram.
This is one of those that the next bad challenge will get a yellow card, so just make sure it's not us.
Keeper out to take the free kick. 30th minute. Still 0-0 here at Pride Park. Zetterstrom puts it in flat, and it's headed on to Jackson. Puts his cross into the middle! Well, all of a sudden, it looked like a cross might be about to become a shot then, and it drifted towards that far post. And it could have gone inside. It went just outside, and Meslier was stuck.
Well, thankfully that did go the wrong side of the post, because that was no doubt it was a fierce cross that just stood off the side of his boot and almost went in.
Meslier, recipient of the short goal kick. Out it comes to Rodon. It's caught late there, and the referee has stopped the play because that was a hard one on Joe Rodon. The ball was well clear when he was caught, and maybe this is the occasion, or maybe because of that Byram challenge, you can't bring a card out for this one.
But there was no great appeal, was there, from any of our boys? Just kind of got on with it, but Rodon was certainly down and got collected a good while after the ball had gone.
He's back on his feet, able to continue. Ampadu has dropped in to take the free kick. Andy Davies is the match official. Ampadu's ball forward. Headed away by Phillips. Ampadu back in to win it back for Leeds, and he gets a boot in the face from Harness. Is this the card?
Yeah, has to be.
High boot from Harness has left Ethan Ampadu stricken there. And well, the referee has initially at least walked away.
No, it's a yellow all day long. He's got it on in his right hand.
Oh, you're right.
It will, okay, now it's his left. It will go up any moment.
Ethan Ampadu, the ball bounced up and he just stooped a little to put his head in there. And Harness's boot was high. And Ethan Ampadu remains on his back on the turf.
And Harness also has escaped away from the scene of the crime. He's on the touchline here now, trying to hide.
Who, me? And there's the first yellow card of the evening to Derby's number 18. Ethan Ampadu, pleased to report, is back on his feet, if not looking entirely happy with life. Leeds have the free kick just inside the Leeds half. Joe Rodon this time will take it. Harness and Ampadu continue the conversation. Short to Tanaka. Back it goes to Rodon. Across the back to Struijk. To the left side to Byram. Byram trying to work it round his man, Wilson. Goes out for a throw-in. Byram there on the halfway line to take it. Derby fans behind him, suggesting he's stealing yards. And still, in it goes to Tanaka. He's pushed over, free kick. So real stop-start at the moment, this one. Tanaka takes the free kick backwards to Struijk. And Tanaka once more. Now Struijk. Steps forward, stops, goes back. Derby working hard off the ball. Rodon. And now Bogle. Tried to play it forward, but Jackson, as if to exemplify that, got across quickly to block it off.
Well, it was a good 30-40 yard run, wasn't it, to close down Bogle, and Bogle just took a little bit too much time. But yes, Derby are working extremely hard. That's why we have to keep the tempo high and run the legs off them.
Joseph loses out on the halfway line. Ampadu steps in to win it back, and still there's a little bit of space for Gnonto here. Gives it wide to Byram. Derby back behind the ball now. Leeds with Tanaka in possession. Back it goes to Byram on the left-hand side. Lets it run for Ramazani. Infield to Gnonto. Gnonto and Ramazani, the two men you'd really like to see on the ball. It worked well in the early stages down either side of the penalty area. Here's Rodon through the middle. At the moment, Ramazani's operating through the centre, as is Gnonto. Byram's the man wide. Tanaka. Short ball back to Ampadu. In it goes to Gnonto. Challenged, but takes it off harness. Now Ramazani, just outside the area. Couldn't find space for a shot. And then it goes across Jackson. And Rodon stops it going out of play for what would have been a Leeds throw-in. And gets the game going again with a pass to Tanaka. Forward now to Aaronson. Aaronson has to shield the ball away from the challenge of Elder. And then it goes long, crossfield from Tanaka. Looking to get Byram in, and he might do it. He does. Byram nods it infield to Gnonto on the edge of the area. Back it goes to Sam Byram. Gnonto again in possession. Clips. Byram slips. And as a result, the ball goes beyond him and into the hands of the keeper.
Nothing doing there, but once again, got to try and move that ball quickly. We found Byram in plenty of space, but can't find that final
Tanaka's won it
pass.
back well from harness, and then
no.
he's just got a little bit of a rush of blood to the head there, Tanaka, because he hurried his pass and he overhit it. He'd done so well to win it back in a promising position.
Normally Tanaka, well, the way to pass from Tanaka normally is perfect, isn't it? You're right, that one was just way too hard.
Now Derby come down the right-hand side. Ball on the edge of the penalty area. Won back well, strongly but fairly by Leeds. And they break forward with Aaronson out towards the left-hand side, and Gnonto moving up towards the edge of the area, into the area. Joseph lays it off. Shot is from the left-hand side from Aaronson. And Pascal Struijk, the man who began the counter-attack there, jogs back towards the halfway line, knowing that that could easily have resulted in something better.
Well, I think that should have been 1-0. Excellent play all around, and Aaronson lined up the volley, just couldn't get over it. Maybe the ball from Joseph just bounced up a little high. Could have been a bit better for Aaronson to hit first time, but still, someone of his calibre, you expect him to at least hit the target.
We're doing the goalkeeper going for a drink whilst the ball is meant to be spotted up for a goal kick thing here, as we're into the final 10 minutes of the first half, well inside the final 10 minutes of the first half. No goals as of yet. Zetterstrom now does take the goal kick. Over the head of Bogle. Does it come off Bogle? No. Well, Derby very much thought it had done. Elder jumped with him, but assistant decides that that was off the back of Callum Elder and not off the back of Jaden Bogle, so he's about to take the throw in for Leeds. Bogle looking down the line. There's movement in that area now. Straight onto the head of Phillips. Leeds end up with another throw in, this time just inside the Derby half. Bogle has walked forward to take it. Last time Leeds played here was the penultimate game in the lockdown championship title-winning season. Well, Bogle's been caught late, and he's stayed down, and the referee blows his whistle, and Jackson might be in trouble here. Paul Warne is standing right on the shoulder of the referee here because the incident took place right in front of the technical area. The only punishment is the free kick. Back it goes to Ampadu. Across the middle, where Struijk is able to move it forward for Leeds United. To the left side, not the best ball from Pascal Struijk. It's behind largely Ramazani, and out for a throw-in.
Misplaced pass, one of the first ones from our two centre-halves, but same thing, put his head down and Ramazani sprinted off inside.
So Derby's throw-in will come from a position level with the edge of their box. Byram gets a header, infield Tanaka flicks it forward, comes back to Tanaka. Now there's space ahead of Bogle, moving down through the middle, stops, weighs up his options, runners to his left and through the middle, plays a little ball looking for Byram inside, but it'll carry too far forward, and Zetterstrom is able to get off his line, slide across the turf and pull the ball into his body.
Well, that was unfortunate, but Bogle's been a good attacking threat down this right-hand side when he comes outside. There he's going inside. I'd like to just see him keep wide and see if we can stretch this Derby defence.
Press works again as the Gnonto challenge almost sees Leeds back in a strong attacking position. Cleared into the Leeds half. Tanaka cushions a header back into Byram. Byram happy to go back to Meslier. 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Now Rodon for Leeds. On it goes to Gnonto, can turn and move forwards. Bogle ahead of him. Gnonto rides a first challenge, back heel into the path of Bogle. Gives it to Ampadu, he wants to get it going quickly. He's caught late. Again, just a foot left in there. Adams is the guy this time who did it. And Ampadu has stayed down. And not for the first time. Ethan Ampadu is left feeling in pain and on the ground after a hard challenge.
Well, there's no doubt that, you know, Derby are working extremely hard, putting their foot in as well. And the referee really has to clamp down on that sort of thing. There has been a few yellow cards already, so just let the referee continue running the game. But what you have got from Paul Warne's side is plenty of commitment for sure.
Well, the game restarted with a drop ball there, which was theoretically uncontested. Rodon went back to Meslier with it. Bogle to Gnonto in the Derby half. Now Ampadu. Centre circle to Struijk. To his left to Byram. Byram down the touchline, then comes back to Tanaka. And it goes to Aaronson. Looks forward. Plays it almost through the gap into the path of Gnonto. Pass is just overhit.
Okay, now we're starting to lose our way a little bit, aren't we, with those final passes. Once again, it's a good area. Tanaka just plays it into Aaronson. He gets it and turns, looks up, and it's that pass that we're not quite getting right.
So the goal kick will be taken by the Derby keeper. And the players gather. It's going to be a long kick. Players gather in front of the two dugouts, basically. Pitch position. On the halfway line, Ramazani now picked up by Aaronson. Leeds have got 4 runners through the middle here. If Aaronson can find one of those players in a yellow shirt going outside, he comes inside. It's in the penalty area with Joseph. Joseph trying to get to the byline, gets it to the byline, and it's just tucked behind. Half a second there, it looked like that might be rolling in for an own goal. but it was cleared behind for a corner.
Well, Joseph actually does really well on the left-hand side. I thought, is he going to shoot? But then he takes it deeper and then just pulls it back, and that Phillips, fortunate, does get a foot to it, but you're right, doesn't go through his own net, but good defending in the end.
So Ramazani is taking the corner kick from in front of the travelling fans this time, so this will be the in-swinger from Ramazani. Referee, oh dear, what a shame. Perfectly positioned corner kick for Ethan Ampadu's side foot finish, but the referee had already blown his whistle. So let's try and do that again, chaps. Good rehearsal. Ramazani waits because the ball needed to be returned to him. Joe Rodon, who scored his first and only Leeds goal with a header from a corner against Derby, is on the edge of the penalty area. And now it's curled in. Low shape on that one. It's cleared away to the edge of the area to Jackson. Now Goudmijn. Forward ball. Struijk has come in hard to make the challenge successfully. Left his man on the ground. That was Mendez-Laing.
Successfully. It's lucky there, actually the Derby player just got there first, didn't he? But Pascal still got plenty of the ball after it came off the Derby player.
Referee wants a word with Adams here. And he's not happy with what he's been told. The Derby man is quite irate about something. Is it a head injury?
Yeah, I'm going to say, does he
off?
have to go off? Then maybe that's the reason why. I'm not sure.
Well, the physio's no, there's another man down on the halfway line. That's Mendez-Laing. And Adams has been sent away by the referee and by a teammate as well. So,
well, I think if he's not careful, he'll talk himself into the book. He's clearly remonstrating at something, but he's had one or two challenges right on the edge as well.
So a little chat with Ethan Ampadu now, who was on the end of one of those challenges not so long ago. And there's a bit of a lull in proceedings as we head towards the conclusion of the 45th minute.
And Meslier's had very little to do apart from that cross-come shot that almost sneaked into the far post. After that, we've had plenty of possession and control, but certainly for us in what, last 15-20 minutes, not really tested the keeper anywhere near enough.
Yeah, there have been moments of promise, 2 added minutes. We're obviously going to go beyond because we're into that now and the game hasn't restarted. Mendez-Laing being helped to his feet now. And the treatment continues for the Derby captain. So fans around us taking the opportunity to disappear down into the concourse below the stand here. And Mendez-Laing is walked towards the far touchline before he's allowed back on. The game will restart with a Derby County throw-in midway inside the Leeds half after that Pascal Struijk challenge on Mendez-Laing that has brought about the delay. Thrown up towards the edge of the box. Down the right-hand side, Derby possession. And there's a strong challenge going in. There's another strong challenge going in. There's a proper war going on there on the edge of the penalty area. Tanaka's involved. They're all getting involved. The ball is still in play and Leeds end up at the end of all of that with a free kick. Well, you could take your pick out the challenges. It was like a little 15-second cameo from 1978. The players diving in and having a little go at each other. And the ref let it go, let it go, let it go. And at the end of it, Leeds player emerged, brought down, free kick Leeds. Consternation for the home fans.
Yeah, but brought down by Adams again. And he gets away with that one. He's getting frustrated, is the boy.
It's good to see everyone having a good hack at each other there. Ball is on the halfway line. Just pushed forward by Rodon. In fact, pushed out by the Leeds defender. for a Derby throw in the Derby half. And we're past the 2 added minutes now. So this is the additional time on the additional time. Ball on the far side touchline. Leeds win it. Just hooked forward by Ampadu. Headed back into Leeds territory. Only to Tanaka. Gets it wide nicely to Ramazani. Trying to wriggle his way down the touchline. And then it's pushed into touch. Comes off the Leeds man, I think, for a throw-in. And we are now up to the 3rd minute of added time, or almost anyway. Derby with the ball up in the air, drops in Leeds territory. Struik's underneath it, Rodon also. And then over the shoulder on the far side. That's the last action of the first half. Well, Leeds took control early on in this game, and there were some promising moves down either side of the penalty area. But as the two teams head towards the tunnel at half-time, neither goalkeeper has really been tested in this one, and the scoreline reflects that, 0-0.
Yes, a little disappointing. We haven't taken the lead because we've had plenty of possession, got in some really good areas. There's no doubt that Derby are showing full commitment. Some of the challenges are a little dicey, but you know, we know that these guys are fighting for their lives. We have to match that and then play our stuff. But we've been let down in that final third, that last bit of quality. We need to improve that, and in the second half, there's no doubt we could then get that goal and get our noses in front. But in the meantime, I'm going to have some of your mum's cake, Bryn-Law. It's going to be tasty. I can't wait, and I'll leave the rest of the guys in the studio.
Barrow Breath will do the trick.
That's the stuff.
Barrow Breath always does the trick. Half-time scoreline. It's Derby 0, Leeds 0.
Smiling. Yeah, probably right. Oh, man, okay. Come on, that colourful. Oh, thank you. Mate, I'll open it and I'll bring that thing. Thanks, hon.
Mate, you've done a lot for me. You've done a lot for me. I appreciate you. Thanks, mate. Thanks, man. Am I actually opening it? Of course. Do you want to help me? No. I've got news for you, mate. Oh, trust me. Oh my God, it's nice, isn't it? Oh, mate. It's actually, mate. Yeah. It's very funny. This is serious. It's risky too. Byram, this is your normal GS.
Nah, chill, it's all. Chill. Well, don't look at me, you all. Look at me. Just come. 2, 1, go. Yes. I was controlling the ball anyway. It's not a win. So come, one more time. I can't beat Trump. I can't lose on time. I can't lose on Trump. Go. It's true. Oh, yes. Dumb. I won. You see, it's rigged. It's just rigged.
Well, the game's really heating up now. Keeping that energy flowing. Talk about control. Constant, steady performance, no matter the weather. Lovely charge forward there. That was smart play.
is living in my house. If I spill or make a mess, the next moment it's magically gone. I never see them, but they get everywhere. Is it fairies or mini little people? Is it you? Everything is so sparkly, sparkly. Mummy says try not to make too much mess, so we don't scare them away.
No magic, no spells, just astonish.
Escape to a land where it's no work and all play. There's no such thing as speed limits. Where wild animals roam. And around every corner is a new adventure. Where you live amongst nature and giant rabbits come and say hello. Escape to Flamingo Land. Book your day pass online at flamingoland.co.uk.
Oh, new TV.
Yeah, it's the new Hisense Mini LED.
Should have asked me what to get. We've got a 65-inch with Mini LED, but you've got to be paying at least $2,000 for that.
Actually, this one has all those features and more, and we didn't pay anything like that. Looks great, doesn't it?
Well, no goals yet in a game that's getting progressively sort of feisty as the 45 minutes went on. Simon Grayson's here with us in the studio today. First 45 minutes, no goals to discuss, but what's your thoughts on that first half performance?
Yeah, I thought we started the game really brightly on the front foot. Looked like we sort of were the dominant team, limited them to few opportunities. But as the game went on from that 15-minute period or so, it got a lot of scrappiness about it. There was not a lot of quality in it. We got to the final third on numerous occasions and couldn't find the final pass, find a yellow shirt in the box where we had 3 opportunities. It just fizzled out when the attacks that we had. I'll give a bit of credit to Derby. I thought the defenders defended well, but it's just one of them games that not anything seemed to flow in that 30 minutes after the good first 15 minutes when we could have scored when we were the dominant team.
Yeah, you mentioned Derby there. I mean, certainly they appear to be a much more competitive team, even just physically, than the team that we saw here at Ellen Road, certainly putting themselves around a bit. Yeah,
look, their home team, 30,000 there as well, hurt from the 3 weeks ago when we absolutely battered them as well. So, yeah, they've got something to prove to, and they've obviously had a decent couple of results recently as well, so they play with a bit more confidence. They are the home team, and they've come out and played a little bit more. Meslier sadly had a save to make. There's one horrible moment when you thought they might just drop in over the top of him, a missed cross from Jackson on the left-hand side. But other than that, they haven't done too much to really threaten us, but it's about what we're trying to do with the ball and get them opportunities to break the deadlock.
Well, let's see what we have done in that first 45 minutes. And like you say, the start of the game was a pretty quick pace for both teams, which sort of suited us in some ways, and Leeds getting off to an early strong start and trying to make opportunities.
Yeah, we had a lot of possession in around this area, and that's probably just summed up sort of that first 15 minutes where we get into a good position and Matteo just gets in front of the defender and can't quite get his foot round it. It's just more or less gone past the near post, so it's very difficult for him to probably score from that angle. But it was good, quick play, 1 touch, 2 touch. Derby have got the defenders in around him, so it wasn't an easy chance. But we were looking to play forward. Good run from Bogle, which we've seen a lot. And again, Derby are putting the bodies on the line, which is, as a coach manager, you want your defenders to do that because you can't allow Leeds United to have any free time, and that they've made it difficult for us, but keep asking the questions, a little bit more quality in that final third, then we can get this first goal, which is going to be crucial. And there's been opportunities where we've got in around it and just a little bit more composure. This was a great ball, to be fair, from Pascal, and then Aaronson just plays it to Matteo. To be fair, he's made the keeper work. That's all you can do. Defenders showing him one way, keeper should save that. And probably this is probably the best chance of the first half, really, wasn't it? Good player, and it just pops up for him to hit it first time. And really, you've got to have a bit more composure than that. Make sure you work the goalkeeper at the very least. Flying over the bar, 8 yards out on the angle. Player that's playing with a lot of confidence and belief. Look, the defender's thrown his body across, but even so, you still want him to at least work the goalkeeper. And then another white shirt in the way of some decent work down that left-hand side. But yeah, Derby have not made it easy for us because of the number of bodies that they've got back there. On another day, that can go in off the goalkeeper. You know what I mean? If you have a little bit of luck, you might just get the break of scoring that way. But we've got to stick to the same beliefs, the same philosophies of how we're going to play. But also, you look to the bench 60, 70 minutes and all of a sudden Daniel will go, get the other three on that have just been left out of the team today. And that's the biggest thing for a manager to have, that you can win games from the bench, as in personally from your own selection. But the downside that when Derby County defenders see probably Piroe coming on, Dan James, Solomon coming on, they'll be like, oh, here we go. And games can be won from bench, and I expect it to be won from the bench today.
Talk to us about Mateo Joseph there, because one thing that was consistent in all those clips of the chances from Leeds is Mateo Joseph right in the centre of the action, getting himself in those good positions, a bit like he did for that goal. That was the Preston goal. Eventually it was the own goal that was the equaliser, but he was in the right place at the right time, putting the cross in there, taking the shot as well. The goals haven't come for him as much as he would have liked in the last few weeks, but he's certainly getting himself in those positions and looking to cause trouble.
Yeah, look, sometimes when you're going through a run that he's having, we're not scoring too many goals, that you go missing a little bit. You don't make them runs anymore. You you stay out the way of an opportunity coming your way, but he's in amongst it. Where you want your striker to be more times than not is between the two posts, making runs across defenders, across the goalkeeper, and he's in there. Maybe sometimes through his own eagerness, he's getting a little bit too far past the post and his runs are going a little bit too early. But when you look at the Derby defending, as I mentioned before, they've been close to him. They know that if they give him a chance, he'll probably take it. So they've been tight to him, and that's defenders are getting paid to do that. But some of his players been good. The kid needs a goal, doesn't he? And hopefully the second half he gets one.
Hopefully so. We talked about the Leeds chances. You did mention that Derby haven't been without their moments, nothing clear-cut as such, but a couple of times where they've threatened. One where he talks about over Meslier's head when he would have thought, hello, where's this one going? But let's just take a look at how Derby have tried to test us in that first half. And one thing that was notable is that when they've tried to break, they do it with some pace.
Yeah, they have. They've got some pace in the team with Yates, Mendez-Laing and Jackson on the left-hand side. Good defending. Look, again, not even worked Meslier, to be fair, but they're getting more bodies further forward. They've got strong runners, but that's where you've got to be. Concentration levels got to be really high. Pascal gets back and makes a block, and this is one where the lad's gone to cross it with his left foot. And all of a sudden, you're Meslier thinking, please do not drop over my head into the back of the net, because on another day, that just floats in because the lad has completely miscued it. That's supposed to be going left foot across the box. And in the outside of his left foot, it's just put a bit of swerve on it. Unfortunately, it didn't have enough swerving to just go into that far corner. On another day, that goes in and you go, oh, God, it's going to be one of them days for us.
Teams are making their way out through the tunnel in just a moment. What's Daniel Farke saying to the players ahead of this? Is it to do with tempo? Because when the game's been played at a faster tempo, it suited us. When it slowed down and got scrappy, it's been difficult to get going.
Yeah, I think Derby have done that, haven't they? They've sort of been a few fouls and made it a little bit of a needle match as such, but not allowing us to have the tempo that we want to have it. When we play to our best, our capabilities, when we're playing one touch, two touch, you've got the runners from the full-backs, you've got the wide players getting to little pockets, and he'll be just saying, let's start the second half like we started the first half, but as the game goes on, just make sure we have a little bit more quality, the decision-making when we're getting around the 18-yard box, but plus make sure we don't get done on a counter-attack against them because they've got some pace about them.
OK, let's see how this second half panned out. Bryn and Tony on the leftover Christmas cake at half-time. I can officially announce that Simon brought nothing to the studio for us to enjoy over half-time, so thanks for that. OK, here come the players in all yellow. Can they make it a win and get the goal that they need this second half? Let's head back to Pride Park with your commentary team, Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo.
Cheers, Rich. We have 2 teams out, and we have a second half that is about to resume here, with Leeds United looking to just maybe up the tempo a little bit, create a few more chances, and do what they've come here to do, which is at the very least to take something from this game. Derby will maybe feel that still very much in the contest at half-time. They had a couple of moments themselves in the first period.
Well, they had a couple of moments, but they have yet to have a shot on target, a shot off target, and only 21% possession. So we have been dominating it, but what have we got to show for it? No goals yet.
Seen that quite a number of times, haven't we, in away games this season. The key statistic is the one that needs changing at the moment. Leeds have a throw-in straight from the kickoff. It's a ball that sails into touch. Sam Byram right down in front of us, as Leeds are now defending the goal to our right and attacking the goal to what is to us now at the far end, if you like, other side of the halfway line. Another throw-in for Leeds in front of the Derby technical area. Byram's worked up the touchline to take it. No change either side at half-time, unanticipated. Byram clips a pass forward to Joseph. Joseph squirms through one challenge and gets it well to Ramazani, who suddenly heads up to the edge of the penalty area. Ramazani trying to whip his ball into the middle. It's bobbing around. Aaronson's there and he shoots, and it's a great save from the keeper. It's a hands-to-head moment for Leeds United and Brendan Aaronson, because that was heading in and the keeper recovered well and pushed it behind for a corner.
Oh, Zetterstrom, excellent save from the Derby County goalkeeper. Good work, wasn't it, on the left-hand side? Initially from Matteo Joseph. Smuggled his way through 2 or 3 challenges. And Ramazani pulled it across. Eventually, it comes out to Aaronson and keeper makes a good stop.
With his legs there. And so Leeds have an early corner at the start of this second half, but it could have been so much better. Signal is given. Ramazani plays the ball into the middle. Easy header clear. Leeds pick up the loose ball, but a long way from that penalty area now. Aaronson, the man, thwarted by the goalkeeper's save. Meslier at the other end, and a pass out to Rodon. It's a long ball from Rodon, one in the air at the back, headed back to the Welsh international. Gives it to Byram down the left for Leeds. Byram stops, comes back to Tanaka.
See, that's where I think he can drive forward as well. Just always, he's a yard ahead of his player. Just carry on. Just comes back onto his favourite right boot.
Half-volleyed ball to Bogle, who stabs it into the middle. And there's Joseph in the middle! Oh, he's put it over the top. And Matteo Joseph, the latest player from Leeds United, to put his hands to his head to rue a real opportunity that has been missed.
What a ball from Bogle. Brilliant. Right in behind the defence. Eludes one of our players, but comes nicely. And Matteo Joseph's left foot just always stretching slightly, but even so, couldn't control the shot.
Well, Leeds have had 2 clear openings in the opening 3 minutes of this second half. Goalkeeper stopped the first. Joseph's second effort over the bar. Ball up in the air in the Leeds half. Bogle underneath it, gets a little touch forward. Flicked on, but not successfully by Gnonto. Tanaka comes in. Now Bogle on his chest. Working his way down the right touchline. Final touch off the Leeds man for a Derby throw-in.
It's there for us, isn't it? Just got to step it up and find that finish, find that bit of quality.
Throw in on that far touchline. Derby emerged from League One last season under the leadership of Paul Warne. Having had years and years of hard times here, one financial crisis after another, but then Leeds United know all about that. Again, scrappy, bodies flying in. Derby with harness come out, and his ball is straight to Byram. Now Ampadu for Leeds in his own half. Now Gnonto can have a little bit of a run here. Gnonto played it out to Ramazani, left side of the penalty area. Plays it back into the middle. Took a little deflection on its way towards goal, and that just gave the goalkeeper the chance to step across to his near post and make the catch there, as Joseph arrived late and caught him after the ball had been arrived in the hands of the keeper.
But once again, the ball from Gnonto, it's actually an easy one, but it was a poor one. It pushed Ramazani just too wide, otherwise Ramazani would have been in on goal himself.
50 minutes gone. It's Derby 0, Leeds United 0. Goalkeeper with a long high kick forward into the Leeds half. Byram's header goes up in the air. Struijk beaten to it, and the ball is on the edge of the penalty area. Yates stays down, and Yates is going to win Derby a free kick as Struijk, I don't know, hands in the back was it, as Struijk went up to win the second header.
He was late, wasn't he, Struijk? Just late, always going to attack it, but was never getting there. Just takes out Yates.
So Derby with a centrally positioned free kick. It's midway inside the Leeds half. Adams is standing over it for them. And most of the white shirts are around about the edge of the Leeds United penalty area. Yates himself is on the penalty spot. Adams in conversation with Goudmijn, who may yet end up taking this free kick, as he's now stepped in, and he does take on the duties from Adams. Still we await the free kick. Now it comes in, hooked towards the far side, heads up, I'd say towards goal, but actually wasn't that close to goal, and Meslier's happy just to watch the header go wide. Now there's a problem for Leeds. There's a shoulder injury suffered by Joe Rodon, and has a little roll of pain there, but he's back on his feet, helped up. Oh, he's definitely hurt that right shoulder, I should say. And the referee was going to send him off to get treatment, and Joe Rodon has decided that he'll try and run it off instead.
Well, he's pulling a few funny faces, I've got to say. It looks to be in a bit of pain. Nat Phillips was the one with the towering header at the back stick, and he had the momentum, didn't he? Got over Rodon, fell on him as well. But our centre-half has made a tough stuff.
Already got a bandaged hand, doesn't he, Joe Rodon? He it is who plays a long ball open over the halfway line. Comes back onto the header, Gnonto. Aaronson underneath it, beaten to it. Then wins a header. Again, scrappy. Suddenly, Gnonto tries to break through. It was a back pass that almost put the Leeds man in there. Goalkeeper reacted quicker, slightly, and got to it. Now, Leeds give it away badly on the halfway line and then win it back well on the halfway line through Tanaka. And now Ramazani down the left-hand side for Leeds to make progress up towards that Derby penalty area. Ramazani infield, it's a slip, but it's arrived at the feet of Gnonto, and it opened up in front of Gnonto briefly there. And then when he put his shot in on goal, it was a block from Nelson that saw the ball loop up over the crossbar for a corner.
Yeah, deflection, but good play. Derby now, when they do go forward, commit a body or two forward, if we can then break quickly, we're going to have those sorts of chances. We moved it forward far quicker this time. Passing wasn't quite as accurate as we would like, but it did eventually end up at Gnonto's feet. Swung the left boot, and deflection over it went.
Ramazani's corner kick goes to the far side of the area, over the head of Tanaka, who claims the corner, but he ain't getting that. And that's gone out for a goal kick. So, disappointing outcome from a set piece there for Leeds.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're only in the 9th minute.
But of course, we have plenty of firepower on the bench. It'll be interesting to see when they will be introduced.
Nobody out warming up for Leeds just at the moment. But there are numerous options available to the manager there. As the goal kick, wow, from Zetterstrom sails into touch. Reminiscent of the Oxford keeper there.
He was very good at it, to be fair, wasn't he?
So Bogle will take the throw in the Leeds. Half. 2 balls on the pitch, I don't know. Gnonto trying to hook it down the line for Joseph. Goes out of play. Derby throw in. So the left full back waits to throw the ball into Leeds half, which he does now. Harness keeps it away from a Leeds player. Mendez-Laing picks it up. Comes inside of Ramazani, not Ampadu. Goudmijn gets it down the line to Wilson. Back to Goudmijn. And then into his own half. He's happy to push it to Curtis Nelson. Across the back to Phillips. And then over on that left side, Jackson goes back again. Leeds trying to press high. As Nelson has the ball now. Joseph across to try and close him down. It's worked away from Joseph. It's over the halfway line before Struijk puts a foot in ahead of Harness. Comes off Struijk, and it's a Derby throw in. I don't think Pascal Struijk was in agreement, but the assistant was well placed to give that one. Wilson with the throw in to Harness. And then the ball over to the left-hand side. Back in again to that Derby half. It comes Phillips and Nelson exchanging passes. Wilson closed down by Ramazani. Comes off the chest of Ramazani and out for a throw in. Yates back on the halfway line. Plays the ball to Goudmijn, blocked by Byram. Again, throw in. Goudmijn thought about taking it and then left it for Wilson. Harness comes and offers himself. A loose touch, but Ampadu can't get on the end of it. Adams goes to his left. Derby try and move it forward and then come back. And Ampadu with a less than supple challenge there on his opponent, which leaves him on the deck, and the referee is calling the Leeds man towards him for a ticking off, not to show a card.
Let's be honest, that's lenient, because that was nowhere near the ball. Ethan Ampadu just late, put his foot in and got nowhere near the ball. Plenty of the player. Gets away with it though. We need to get back on top though, don't we? We've got to get the ball, start playing with that high tempo.
There's a lot of quality, you would think, in Leeds attack, but not able to show it at the moment. Derby it is. Who are going to put a long free kick into that Leeds half, which will need defending here. There's a line of 8 Leeds United shirts right in front of us as the ball comes towards them now. Struik's header on the edge and then hooked away by Joseph beyond Harness, who turns back to his own half and gives it to Goudmijn. He moves it out to the left-hand touchline, and it's a forward run down that left touchline, and there's a chance for the cross to come in, which it does to the near post from where it's defended by Sam Byram, and Byram puts it out for a throw-in.
Good covering from Byram. Once Rodon vacated the central area to try and help Bogle out, Byram had to come across, and he did.
Could be a long throw coming in from that far side now as Derby players move into the penalty area and well away from the throw-in taker. And actually, it comes short ultimately. Goudmijn running through the crowd. Ball comes into the middle. It's overhit the cross. It comes all the way to this near side where it's picked up by Wilson to Mendez-Laing. Mendez-Laing's ball taking a deflection off a Leeds player, so if it goes out to corner, and it does, and it is. And you'll hear the reaction of the home supporters here. Leeds with more defending to do. Now Leeds subs are warming up. Mendez-Laing in conversation over the ball with Callum Elder. Mendez-Laing steps away. Elder will take the corner. Plenty of movement in the penalty area. Goes deep towards the far side, heads up, goal, it's great save, Meslier, still alive, still needs clearing, and it is by Joseph. Just underneath the crossbar, Meslier had to stretch and kept the ball out of the goal there. And Leeds have been served real warning. Throw is not a great one. Leeds will end up with a throw-in their own half. Derby's best moment.
It certainly is. Got to watch, haven't we, for throw-ins, set pieces, corner kicks. And that was a good ball to the far stick. I think there's centre-half. Got up really high, didn't he? Nelson, good save from Meslier. Needed to be.
So the home supporters have been aroused. Leeds have to try and quieten them again here. Tanaka loses out. Harness. Ampadu's in quickly. Now Ramazani. Suddenly there are runners for Leeds as Gnonto sets off towards that penalty area. Down the right. He stopped, he slipped, and he's lost it. Disappointing. Derby themselves can think about a counter-attack now. Slow it up a little on the halfway line. Still have possession though. And when the ball comes over the top, there's a free kick has been given for a needless foul really on the halfway line. The ball had been played, it wasn't a great pass. And so Leeds have handed possession back to Derby again here.
Well, just when Derby were pushing numbers forward, the break was on. Gnonto had the ball but lost it cheaply. Got to be better than that.
So again, Leeds form a defensive line. Same position as the last one. Same numbers involved. And Goudmijn the free kick taker from just inside his own half. In it comes. Headed into the middle. Headed goalwards. Meslier comes and catches easily. He would like to throw it quickly, and he does, to Ramazani down the left-hand side on the halfway line. Gets away from Mendez-Laing, but he's shown too much of it to Nelson. Goalkeeper's clearance was just beyond the run there of Brendan Aaronson. Got away with it. And then suddenly, down this near side touchline,
brilliant Ampadu.
Wilson, well tackled by Ampadu. Leeds throw-in on the halfway line.
Well, it's just starting to open up. We've got to make sure we're on the right side of that. Keep it tight at the back, but attack with some quality.
All those Leeds subs are down by the corner flag to our left. Leeds on the halfway line. Ampadu caught late again by Yates, but nothing given. The game goes on. Rodon. Still under pressure, comes back to Struijk. Now Ampadu, pressed by Goudmijn. Good ball into Ramazani, who's been given the chance to have a run now because there's space ahead of him. Ramazani into the middle for Gnonto. Gnonto to the far side of the penalty area. Aaronson's got a sprint to keep it in. He does manage that. What can he do from that tight position? Wins, leads a throw in. Takes it into Bogle. Bogle's in the penalty area, puts it in the middle, and it's come for a shot on goal from Ramazani, and it was the goalkeeper who reacted just to push it away as it threatened to beat him at his near post.
well, all a bit of a mess, but at least we play quickly. Derby at the back were at 6 and 7s as well, and eventually when it bounces up with Ramazani, at least he got it on target. Keeper made a bit of a meal of it, but stopped it nonetheless.
Unconventional stop by the keeper for sure. Kind of scooped it out with his left arm across his own body. So Leeds have a corner. Ramazani puts the ball in the middle. Heads go up in there. It's cleared away as far as Gnonto. Takes the ball down, gives it to Bogle. Back to Gnonto on the edge of the centre circle. Gnonto to Byram and back to Struijk. Not the best ball. Ramazani's doing his best to try and make something of it, but it goes out of play for a Derby throw-in.
Once again, cheaply given away. Solomon, I think, has been given the nod to come back and get ready.
Yeah, sprints back, strips the vest off. So Solomon will be the first change for Leeds here. Wilson's throw onto the chest of Byram. Aaronson. Ampadu. Tries to put it up over the top, stabbed the ball forward. Derby won it in the air. Still players leaping to win headers here. Ball out of play. Derby throw. Daniel Farker not impressed. Piroe is coming on as well. Wilson with a throw in from the halfway line. 25 minutes to go here at Pride Park, 0-0. A game of few chances thus far. Joseph chases. Across it goes to the left back and then it's given away. Bogle will pick it up for Leeds on the halfway line. Manages to get it forward and now Leeds have bodies with Ramazani. Scuffs his shot from outside the area there. And now Derby, having picked up the loose ball, come forward themselves. Tanaka has fouled Jackson, and Tanaka maybe getting a card here. Certainly the fans in front of us are indicating that should be the case, but it ain't happening.
I've never seen so many fans wave an imaginary yellow card before. But we need something, don't we now? We've got to turn this around because we're not really getting on top. Bit of a basketball game, which we know Daniel Farker does not like. End-to-end stuff. We need to keep control.
So Derby make a change first. Mendez-Laing. Mendez-Laing is the one who's summoned off. Brendan Aaronson thought that the board was going up for him. It had 11 on it, but it's the Derby change that's being made here.
It is. Dan James is actually coming on as well, so there's three
for Leeds coming on. Solomon, James and Piroe. So Mendez-Laing, the first of the replacements to arrive. The Derby skipper heading towards the veteran stage of a career. Has replaced Blackett-Taylor is the man who's come on for him.
Just by sending Aaronson back on and suggest it's the three forward players that came in to the starting 11 might be going off. Ramazani, Gnonto and Joseph. Let's see.
Well, it's not happening yet.
No.
The free kick is going to be taken first. So Leeds are going to defend this with the three subs waiting. Goudmijn heads away from the edge of the box. Not very far though. Still alive for Derby down the left. Ball is put back into the middle and then back by that far touchline. Good challenge initially from Gnonto, but couldn't keep the ball. Derby pressed all the way back into their own half by the hard running of Leeds. Goudmijn has come back in to pick up the ball from the keeper. And he scoops the pass forward nicely into the path of the man who's just come on. And Ampadu suggests that was a dive, but the referee suggests otherwise. And the card does come out for the Leeds skipper. And Leeds have another free kick to defend here.
Well, the home crowd are in raptures if they've just scored, but they think finally a yellow card. But this is what we have to guard against. Keep the crowd quiet at the moment. They've got their tails up.
Leeds still not making the changes. Gnonto is going to come off, but he's told to stay on for the time being. They actually flashed the number up then. Gnonto set off, but he was told to stay where he was.
I think it's once again from the free kicks, isn't it? You don't want to change too many from a defending free kick. Everyone knows exactly what they're doing, so just see this one out, then make the changes.
Well, this is as close to the penalty area as Derby have had from one of these set-piece positions. And Elder and Goudmijn are both over the ball here, and they are almost within striking distance. 20 lined up on the edge of the penalty area, just inside the Leeds box, in fact. Goudmijn gives the signal, curls it towards the far side, heads up there. First of all, as it comes back into the middle, and Meslier with a stretch to catch. And then he's bundled to the ground. He wanted to throw out quickly then, and he was stopped from doing it with a little hand in the back. And I think that was a clever foul, to be honest with you, because Leeds had set off on a sprint forward. Meslier wanted to throw it out quickly. He was prevented from doing so. Ramazani, though, has raced ahead of the fullback Wilson here to pick up the pass for Leeds in a forward position. Turns towards the byline. Still going. Still trying to keep the ball away from Wilson, but defender recovers the situation well and clears. And then Struijk in a right old tussle with Yates. Comes out on top, and Leeds get a throw in, much to the annoyance of the home fans.
Struijk took a quick throw it as well, but the substitutes are ready to come on. Don't think the manager certainly wanted that.
Bogle trying to get it down the line for Gnonto, and that will be a corner. No, it won't. It'll be a free kick for a little push by Gnonto. So he spreads his arms wide to protest his innocence, but we're in the 70th minute, and now Leeds are making changes. So, as widely headlined advertised, Dan James, Joel Piroe and Mana Solomon are coming on, and Joseph jogging towards the near side touchline. Gnonto and Ramazani also heading in the same direction.
So as we thought, 3 attackers that came in, the starting 11 are now off. And now we have 20 minutes left to get that goal.
First job is to keep Derby out, of course, as well. And Derby have a free kick, which the keeper takes from outside the Derby area. Byram with a looping header forward. Solomon sets off. Wilson will beat him to it. Hooks it back into the Leeds half. Struik's header hits the attacker. Struijk has to go in and win it again.
Brilliant.
Goudmijn underneath it. Hustled up towards the halfway line by Tanaka. And then neat play down the left-hand side, and Derby through the middle with Jackson. And there's space out for the substitute down this near side. Blackett-Taylor into the penalty area, drops his shoulder, shoots! Heading goalward, Struijk made the block. Derby have the ball as it comes out. Wilson curls it into the middle, has to be headed clear by Rodon. And then the ball out with Wilson on this near side. And then Ampadu goes in, and then Tanaka plays it now to Solomon, and there's a ball through the middle if he can see it. Solomon plays it across the middle. Dan James in the area. Oh, the keeper saved it. Dan James was clean through then, and he hit it goalwards. It was a terrific pass from Mana Solomon. It was perfect, and the keeper makes an incredible block.
Oh, Zetterstrom pulls off a brilliant save. What a ball that was from Mana Solomon. I thought he was going to get his head down and just keep running. Instead, he did get his head up. He looked, he found Dan James brilliantly. Good first touch from James as well. Just had to slot it, but Zetterstrom had other ideas in the Derby goal.
He's been an impressive performer in the 2 games against Leeds. Zetterstrom, highly rated, has a Swedish cap, and you can see why. Because that was a save of the highest order from a position where Leeds would be expected to score. Derby make more changes here. Harness and Jackson are both coming off. And Chirewa is the first sub, or the second sub to come on rather. The first sub coming on is Barkhuizen, a familiar figure from games of yore. Former Preston man. So Leeds have this corner kick. Well inside the final 20 minutes now. Still 0-0. Solomon with a corner. Header goes! Header wide. And that was another chance. And it just needed more precision. And there was a moment where Leeds could have been in front.
Just needed more contact. It's a brilliant ball across. And Ampadu gets there, does everything right. Just doesn't get enough of the ball to make a connection. So it ends up in the back of the net.
32,240 here, full house at Pride Park.
Got to take your chances. That's what it's all about. We've said it many times before, but a couple of really good chances there in the last minute or two.
Ball on the far side in the air. Harvey with it. And then there's a foul by Rodon and Barkhuizen. So Derby have another free kick right through the middle, 20 yards outside the Leeds box. 15 maybe. So the upshot is more defending for Leeds to do here. Line of players again take position on the edge of that Leeds United penalty area. Final 15 minutes at Pride Park, 0-0. Derby with this set piece to put pressure on Leeds United. The referee looks long and hard, gives the signal. Curled into the middle towards the far side, and it goes too far. And it's beyond any Derby player, and it bounces once and it bounces out. It's a goal kick.
Good defending that was. Rodon with Phillips, and there Bogle just gets in the way as well. What you want to try and do if you're the smaller man, just block him, get in his way, make it difficult for him to get on the end of it. That's exactly what Bogle did.
Leeds goal kick will be a short one, I think. Yep, Rodon to Meslier. Meslier then goes long anyway. Mightn't be a bad ball. Dan James doesn't quite get there ahead of the defender Phillips, and it's up in the night sky. Struijk misses his header, but bounces kindly for him, and then he's legged up in the air by the substitute Chirewa, and it will be a Leeds free kick just inside their own half, taken by Tanaka to Rodon. Bogle puts it up down that far touchline. James ain't winning that one. Headed away to Barkhuizen. And he just, again, high into the Leeds half. Rodon underneath it with a header forwards. Barkhuizen picks it up. Ampadu volleys it back into Derby territory. Ampadu again on the halfway line. Lifts it onto the thigh of Piroe. Flicked up in the air by Tanaka. Tanaka racing across to try and win it back for Leeds here. Byram helps him out. And then Derby have it on the halfway line. Then a foot in from Ampadu. And then Solomon. And then it's put forward for Piroe to get after. Solomon picks it up on the left-hand touchline. Brings it infield nicely. Skips past one challenge. Tries to do something pretty extravagant with the second one. Really, something much more straightforward might have sufficed there. Teammates were in proximity. Leeds win it back on the halfway line with Aaronson and Tanaka. Aaronson's allowed it to get away. Again, there was a pass on. And now Rodon's got to come across and defend for Leeds. He does it very well. Tanaka turns 360 through the legs of Ampadu to Rodon. Rodon strides forward, gives it away, doesn't get it to Bogle down the channel, needs to drop back. Derby instead turn it back towards their own penalty area, and the goalkeeper, and he plays a ball into the Leeds half. Byram's underneath it to control it and then pass it. Gets it to James. James on that right-hand side. Plays the ball into the middle, but Piroe's not getting to that one. Headed away by Phillips. James wins it back for Leeds. Tenacious down that right-hand side. Short pass back. Now Tanaka has it through the middle. Solomon lays it off for Aaronson. Back to Solomon again. Solomon looking towards the penalty area. Into the edge of the box it goes. It's cleared away. And then it's swung wide from Ampadu to James. Little ball in field for Solomon. On the edge of the area to Tanaka. Tanaka moves it to his right foot, gives it back to Ampadu. Low ball into the box. Piroe on the edge of the area, dancing through a crowd, gives it to Byram. Byram back into Aaronson. Aaronson helps it on to Ampadu. Now on this near side, Byram. In it goes to Solomon. He'll change of direction. He'll 1-2. Aaronson's in! Yes! Brendan Aaronson for Leeds! What a work goal that is from Leeds United. Impeccable passing in and around the penalty area. Aaronson pops up in space with the fine finish for Derby 0, Leeds United 1.
What a wonderful goal that was. Patient play. And then eventually the ball goes into Piroe. A lovely ball back to Aaronson. And you just then wanted a composed finish. And that's exactly what we got. Zetterstrom, who stopped everything else tonight, could not stop that one. Aaronson gets there first and tucks it into the bottom corner. A brilliant team goal.
Well, the Leeds players head back towards the halfway line, and they will have been discussing the way they work that goal, because it's finally come right. They've been trying that all evening, and now it's Brendan Aaronson again, the man who finds himself right place, right time, right finish. Ten to go. Zetterstrom, long ball up into the Leeds half. Expect a bombardment surely now. Solomon in his own half wins a free kick for Leeds, not a throw-in. It's better than a throw-in.
Yeah, you're right. Expect a bombardment, but then expect to win it back, and then with a quick transition, have one or two more chances.
Pascal Struijk will take the free kick for Leeds. Re-spots the ball almost inevitably. Yellow shirts walk up into the Derby half. Left foot ball forward from Struijk, beyond Piroe, but he's going to get there. Well, he almost got there. There was a sort of switch down from Curtis Nelson, who obviously felt it was going to go out. Piroe reacted and almost got to it. They did, and managed to marshal it behind for the goal kick ultimately, and that's been taken quickly. And it's been pushed out towards the left-hand touchline. Barkhuizen back towards his own half, in his own half now, with Phillips across the back to Nelson. Out to this near side to Blackett-Taylor, who's having a run again here. Comes inside. Solomon. Struijk's got to come across and does a great job. Marshals that one behind. Just knew there was enough momentum on the ball that if he could get himself in between man and ball, it would go behind for a goal kick. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, really good defending again from Pascal. The pass out to Blackett-Taylor, just evaded Solomon. Just positioning needs to be just a yard or so to the left to try and stop that one, but Blackett-Taylor, he's come on and been positive, certainly, on this right-hand side.
So Meslier to take the goal kick. Distance on this one. Headed forward, back into Leeds half. Struijk delivers it back into Derby territory. Swings out away from Dan James, but it's thied into touch from that far side by the fullback over there, Callum Elder. So it's a throw into Leeds on the halfway line. Jaden Bogle has gone to pick the ball up. Movement from Aaronson, gives it to Bogle. Doesn't get it back though, sloppy. Leeds lose it on the halfway line. Derby then give it away themselves. Again, Struijk seemed to do a great job and just put it over the top. He was looking to put Solomon in as a runner, but it was just too far ahead of Manor Solomon. Daniel Farker applauds the effort from the edge of the technical area.
It was unfortunate, but once again, good defending from Struijk. The pass, not quite what was required, but let's just try and play in their half, keep that tempo high, close down well, win it back, keep doing.
Darby, the big striker, wears the number 9 on his back. Halfway line, Ampadu puts it up in the air. That's going to carry all the way through to the keeper, Zetterstrom, who rolls it out quickly to Phillips. A little surprised that there isn't more activity on the Leeds bench, actually. Guilavogui is warming up away to our left-hand side. Rothwell there as well. Derby on the attack with Blackett-Taylor down the right-hand side. Gives it back to Goudmijn, given away to Tanaka. When Tanaka looks up, you'll see there are runners going. James was one of them. He's come square and safe instead to Bogle. Bogle's pass is poor, and Derby pick up. And Leeds have got to get back behind the ball here. And they have the ball with Elder down the left-hand side. Back it comes for Yates into the penalty area, edge of the penalty area. And then great work done by Joe Rodon.
Brilliant.
That's the strength of the defender. Holds his man off, lets it run beyond and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, brilliant. Strength, speed. Read the danger really well as well, but can't be sloppy in there.
So Derby it is, who take Yates off and throw Collins on up front. And they'll make another change here as well, with Brown coming on. And Goudmijn, the Dutchman, comes off. Leeds will get the game going again inside the final 5 minutes with this goal kick.
A lot of talking there at the back as well, just organising, which is good to see.
Halfway line, Ampadu pushes it back to Struijk. Rodon under a bit of pressure, given away, but won back quickly. Byram to Piroe. Now left side to Mana Solomon. Solomon comes infield, still going. Mana Solomon. Waiting wide is Aaronson. Happy just to play it back, roll it back to Byram. Then Solomon on the edge of the area, trying to find room for a shot maybe. Goes into the box, it's cleared away. Tucked back into the path of Bogle. If he can get there, he can as well. Made the block challenge to get the ball into the path of Rodon. Leeds with possession with Byram on the halfway line. Byram checks back and goes to Struijk behind him. Now Rodon. Rodon moves it wide to his right to Bogle. Short pass infield to Ampadu, who goes long, puts it over the top, looking for the runner Dan James, beaten. And Derby pick up the possession. Tanaka does well with a block on the halfway line, but the second ball is Derby's. Collins has it. And then Bogle comes in to make a challenge, and has he won Leeds a throw-in? No, he hasn't. It's Derby's ball, midway inside the Leeds half. And the figure of Elder comes forward to take it. He throws it back to the halfway line to Phillips. Square across the back to Adams, and then out wide this right side to Wilson. Wilson into Barkhuizen, gets the ball back. Comes inside of Solomon. Tries to go outside of him. Solomon stood his ground this time and he's won the ball off him. Byram to Tanaka. Lovely drop of the shoulder from Tanaka to just give himself time and space, but he's got to keep possession while he's fouled, so that'll do. Just wondered whether he'd gone the wrong way there, out Tanaka.
Yeah, he was good enough and quick enough to quickly spin out of there, but get his body in the way and win that free kick.
Change coming from Leeds, probably not the one you're anticipating. Patrick Bamford's coming on. And Brendan Aaronson is the man who is now coming off. Brendan Aaronson, the man who's got the key goal, the only goal thus far, turns and claps in the direction of the Leeds fans, but the clapping, the real clapping, that's to be delayed yet.
And finally Aaronson gets a bit of a rest, only 2 minutes of a rest, but even so he worked really hard and scored an excellent goal.
So Piroe, I think, will drop into the 10 role. And Bamford will go as the 9. Clues on the shirt, I guess. Meslier with the ball forward towards Bamford. Easy header for Phillips, though, between the two, Piroe and Bamford. Headed on from Struijk in the Derby half. Ampadu puts it up over the top, but again, easy for the central defender on his chest to pick it up. Ampadu picks it up once more. Better ball wide to James this time. Dan James coming in field. Still running parallel with the Derby area. Still manages to wriggle away from a challenge, and he wins Leeds a really good free kick there, Dan James. Held onto the ball, invited the arms around the waist that he got. And this is a good position for a free kick, to be honest, if anybody fancies it.
Certainly is, I do. But I'll stay here. I think it was a good play from James. Elder, you're right, got the wrong side. Little spin from James. got him away and just dragged back, and it just eats into the clock as well.
90th minute, Leeds free kick. What is it, 10 yards outside the penalty area. A little bit less as the wall is sent just beyond the edge of the box, sent back in. So Manor Solomon, hands on hips. Joel Piroe, similar stance. One or the other is probably going to have a pop here, I would suggest. Leeds are going to make another change. Guilavogui is the man who's going to come on, but not just yet. The referee signals he's happy. Manor Solomon hits it out the wall, comes back for Solomon. He scuffs the second one. Oh, he's lucky. 3 added minutes. Bogle down the right for Leeds. Keeps going, still going, but he's giving it away. He could have won a free kick for Leeds there. And then Leeds do win it back anyway with Ampadu. He's fouled. And that's a really good piece of work by Ethan Ampadu. It was all very scrappy in the middle. And then it's a quick free kick for Bamford. And Bamford tries to put it under the keeper, who makes the save, and it's behind for the corner. And that would have been the game winner. But again, the goalkeeper has pulled off a great save. And Leeds end up with a corner.
Great vision from Ampadu. Brilliant pass as well. And Bamford is clean in, but the keeper, Zetterstrom, again comes out so very quickly. And Bamford can't find a way to steer the ball past him.
Leeds have Guilavogui ready on the near side touchline. As we move into the second of the 3 added minutes, the board is up for the change to be made now. And so the change will see Tanaka come off and Guilavogui come on. And the chant from the away supporters is that Ayo, it's ow, but Ayo, you know. Hey ho.
Ow.
Ow, exactly. He gets a little hug from the manager. Guilavogui not even sent into the box. Leeds have a corner kick here, and there is only Piroe in the penalty area. Bamford gives it to Piroe, laid back out to this near side to Solomon. He's got to take it back to the corner. There's nobody to help him in there, is there? Piroe and Solomon, well, they do link up. It goes behind, it's a goal kick. There's a minute to go. So Derby in a hurry to get this goal kick taken. Long ball out towards the far touchline. Bogle misses it. Battling is Guilavogui. Gets the ball out, and it's a Leeds throw-in as well. So Guilavogui.
Well, he's not even touched the ball, has he? He's not even touched the ball, but brilliant play. Gets his body in the way, allows the ball to run out. Again, eating into that clock.
So Leeds have a throw-in midway inside their own half. And it's hurled down the line by Ampadu. It's great distance. Bamford beaten to it, but it's out for another Leeds United throw-in. 30 seconds of the 3 added minutes remaining here. Leeds are so close.
And it's a smart play as well. Just keep hurling it down the line.
Again, Ampadu, long, prodigiously long throw-in down that line. Bogle trying to win it on that far touchline. And Leeds have the ball, and it's played in field, and it's Piroe trying to get it towards somewhere up towards the corner flag. Loses out. Last few seconds as the ball is played up into the Leeds half. Bodies around the ball successfully. Great work to win it back. Not so good to get it forwards. Barkhuizen's header is loose. Byram comes in, nods it down. Got to keep possession. Again, it's just hooked forward by Piroe towards the halfway line. We're past the 3 added now. Derby have possession with Elder over on the far touchline. He's caught. He's blocked in his path by Dan James, and it's a Derby throw. Leeds will take that at this stage. Surely only seconds remaining as the throw is taken up towards the edge of the penalty area, and suddenly Byram has to come across and defend, and he, in a panic, puts it up in the air, and the full-time whistle goes. Huge win for Leeds. Goodness me, it was tight, it was a battle, but Brendan Aaronson with the big moment, and those 3 points see Leeds establish a little bit of a gap at the top of the championship table. They've had to scrap for it. They did the hard work, and the big moment brings the big points, and the celebrations can begin. 2 away games over the Christmas period have brought 6 points for Leeds United. What an excellent return on the final game of the year.
there is real reason to celebrate. Full-time scoreline here. It's finished. Derby County 0, Leeds United 1.
Well, these last 2 away games, they were a big opportunity for us, but we knew it was going to be difficult. We had to turn around our away form, but to score 3 goals and concede none was a very, very good performance, and here was yet another good performance. Should have been probably a little easier as well. Started the second half, we had a couple of great chances really to get our noses in front, but we couldn't. And Derby, well, they kept fighting, showed plenty of fighting spirit, didn't they? Organised. However, we had the quality. We just had to show it, and eventually, what a great team goal it was from Brendan Aaronson. And after that, I thought we hung on really well and rightly come away with all 3 points. Travelling fans, well, they're happy. Hopefully everyone listening's happy as well, because we certainly are here, and on we go.
That's a proper good away win, is that? Because it was in the balance at times. Leeds, you felt, as Tony suggests, had more. They just had to prove it. And that one key moment, that lovely team goal, that terrific finish from Brendan Aaronson, that was the key moment. Clean sheet, again, incredibly important. And you can see the reaction from that travelling army on the far side of the ground who are celebrating and celebrating hard. It's been a really good festive period for Leeds United so far. Another win racked up to finish 2024. It's been some year. Hopefully 2025 will be even better. For all of you, have a fantastic New Year's Eve, and we look forward to seeing you on the other side. Don't forget all the reaction from a happy bunch, I'm sure, to come before the end of the show this evening. It's been a good night here at Pride Park. It's finished. Derby County 0, Leeds United 1.
Smiley. Yeah, probably right. Oh, milky. Oh, that colour from. Oh, thank you. Maybe open it and they'll bring that thing. Great, thanks, Carl.
Mate, you've done a lot for me. You've done a lot for me. I appreciate you. Thanks, mate. Thanks, man. I'm actually opening it. Of course. Trying to help me. No. Got on, this for you, mate. Oh, trust me. Oh my God, it's nice, isn't it? Oh, mate. This actually, mate. Yeah. That's right. Funny. This is serious. It's risky too. Byram, this is your normal GS.
Nah, chill. It's all. Chill. Well, don't look at me, you. Look at me. Just come. 2, 1, go. Yes. I was controlling the ball anyway. It's not a win. So come one more time. I can't beat them. I can't lose on time. I can't lose on time. Go. It's true. Oh yes, dumb. I won this year. It's rigged. It's just rigged.
Well, the game's really heating up now. Keeping that energy flowing. Talk about control. Constant, steady performance, no matter the weather. Lovely charge forward there. That was smart play.
people is living in my house. If I spill or make a mess, the next moment it's magically gone. I never see them, but they get everywhere. Is it fairies or mini little people? Is it you? Everything is so sparkly, sparkly. Mummy says try not to make too much mess, so we don't scare them away.
No magic, no spells, just astonish.
Escape to a land where it's no work and all play. There's no such thing as speed limits. Where wild animals roam. And around every corner is a new adventure. Where you live amongst nature and giant rabbits come and say hello. Escape to Flamingo Land. Book your day pass online at flamingoland.co.uk.
Oh, new TV.
Yeah, it's the new Hisense Mini LED.
Should have asked me what to get. We've got a 65-inch with Mini LED, but you've got to be paying at least $2,000 for that.
Actually, this one has all those features and more, and we didn't pay anything like that. Looks great, doesn't it?
Another 3 points on the road for Leeds United. Fantastic win, 1-0 down at Pride Park. Simon Grayson is a man who, before the game, said, I think this match, it might be one from the bench, a little bit of magic from someone. Then it happened, let out a very big cheer when that goal went in. But what a moment, and what a fantastic result.
It was. Look, we said at half-time, if we can up the game 10-15%, there's a game to be won. And to be fair, how the team started in that second half was exactly what Daniel would have wanted. They played on the front foot, created some good chances, were solid at the back as well. Knowing full well on 60-70 minutes you've got some strong cavalry to come off the bench, and they ended up winning it from there. And it was a fantastic goal, an unbelievable goal when you look at it in detail. When you're on a training pitch as a coach, you're looking at sort of combination plays, you do attack versus defence, lots of bodies in around it. And that is a perfect scenario where you get sort of the ball into a player, gets a 1-2 round the corner and a perfect finish. But it'd been coming at it because there'd been lots of chances that we're going to show in a bit of where the team could have got that first and crucial goal. And really, defensively, we were really strong again without having too many problems to deal with, really. So, fantastic result, and 2 away victories now is certainly put to bed the away form. I think you've said we're third in that table now, so third in the away form isn't too bad to be, is it?
Yeah, well, that's the best way to get up the table as well, with a couple of wins. And when you look at the overall Sky Bet Championship table now, Leeds sitting there on 51 points at the turn of the year is some return from 24 games.
Well, it is. You say about promotion, 2 points a game, we were above that anyway. Goal difference is huge as well. 10 goals difference to Sheffield United and 8 to Burnley as well. That could play a part come the end of the season. Hopefully it doesn't. It doesn't boil down to that. But if you're scoring goals, keeping clean sheet, that keeps momentum going, confidence levels high, and you go out and win games. You go out into any game now, you feel that you're going to win it, you're going to keep a clean sheet and score goals because of the quality that we've got within the group now. And it was a tough game that tonight, because it might have been last year or previous years we might have just drawn it 0-0. I think a lot of other teams draw that game 0-0 in the division and come away with a point, but we find a way of winning matches at the moment because of the quality we've got.
OK, let's take a look at that goal. I don't think we'll be able to watch this goal too many times because it really was a superb team goal. And this game needed a moment, didn't it? And it came in the 79th minute.
As I mentioned before there, look how many bodies that Derby have got around, and all of a sudden we had some sustained play around the box. We moved it, shifted it from side to side, waiting for an opportunity. Weren't rushing it, but then all of a sudden Sam plays a great ball. Solomon looks over his shoulder, gets on the half turn, plays a beautiful ball into Piroe, whose weight of pass sees Aaronson running through. Look at that, Manu Solomon there gets on the half turn into Piroe, and he just knows that he doesn't have to break his stride. The lovely touch, and it says like touch, slide it past him. It's a fantastic goal. When you're doing combination play around the 18-yard box, these are sort of the moves that they'll do most training sessions, trying to break a team that have got lots of bodies behind. And fair play to Aaronson. He kept going, he makes them runs, and he's missed chances tonight throughout the course of the season.
You can almost see that in his reaction for the goal. Of course, he's delighted to score, but maybe a little bit of frustration let out there with a couple of chances he'd had earlier in the game.
Yeah, he had that one first half, didn't he, where he's blazed it over the bar. Then early in the second half, he's actually got his shot off quite quickly, and the keeper made a good save, and he's just thinking, is it going to be one of them nights? But the relief to score for these lads is huge for them when they can get the noses in front, because more times than not, the team get themselves the first goal. Very rarely do we go on to not win the game.
Brendan Aaronson's actually really humble whenever you speak to him about his performances. It was interesting, we saw that at the end as well. The players kind of pushed him towards the fans, like, this is your moment tonight, go and take it and go and have the celebration with the fans. He was a little bit sort of like reluctant to do that, but then he went over as he was sort of, they were like, go on, go and take the moment.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a lad that loves the limelight, does he? I think he just gets about his job, and to be fair, I've been really impressed with him from the day that he's come back, because he was under a lot of pressure when he came back. The stick that he got the first game, and sort of people question his attitude, but he's responded throughout the course of the season with goals, assists. Yeah, he misses chances and he lets a few passes go astray, but he's a footballer and can't be perfect. If he was doing everything perfect, he'd be playing in the Premier League for the top 3 or 4 clubs. But he's done really well, and I'm so pleased that his mentality has got him just rewards again tonight.
Well, there was big celebrations down at Pride Park. Always a little bit spicy between Leeds and Derby. Anyway, the place is emptied out now, apart from just the most important. The players, we'll hear from them. We'll get to some reaction from Daniel Farker as soon as we can. But let's head to our commentary team, who certainly enjoyed that goal, as we all did. A moment of magic. Let's get the thoughts of Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
Thanks, Rich. Yes, that was a great moment on what has turned into a very good night, has it not, Tony?
It has. A superb win, it really is. Away from home, we know how hard it is to grind out those results. Sometimes we can play with great fluidity, sometimes we can't. Stop-start game in that second half, it got a bit like that, but you've got to show the quality at the right time, and tonight we did it again and scored a very good goal.
There was a frustration potentially, wasn't there? Because in that second half in particular, there were some big moments. Keeper made a couple of fantastic saves, but Leeds should have been in front. You were just beginning to get worried it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and you wonder how many chances that you're going to get. So you have to take those chances. And if, I suppose, there's a minor criticism of this season is that we've made a lot of chances and not scored as many goals we probably should have done. I know we're the top scorers in the Championship, but we could have done even better. And this was the sort of game where you just need that chance and stick it away. We couldn't do it in the first half, couldn't do it early in the second half, but we did it 10 minutes ago, which is great.
And another clean sheet to celebrate as well, which is very good news for the guy who's just joined us now, Illan Meslier. Illan, your 200th appearance for Leeds United. You will have been determined not to let a goal go in tonight, and it didn't happen. You did that.
Yeah, it was a tough game, to be honest, and at the end is a win and clean sheet. We increased also the lead at the table, so it's a very good day.
It was a tough old game, wasn't it? Because chances were created and missed, so you're waiting for the big moment.
Yeah. To be honest, it was a little bit frustrating, to see all the chances that we missed, but at the end, the goal came, and the most important is the win. Very happy also for Brendan, who could score. Tonton. So I'm very happy from Brendan and very proud of the team today.
I think in the first half you had nothing to do. Defence was really good, apart from one cross-come shot. Second half you made a couple of good saves.
Yeah, we control almost 40 minutes in the first half. Just one crosses who could be a little bit dangerous. But to be honest, we are it's not only the defense, it's all the block who is working very well. good pressing, counter press. So yeah, of course, sometimes it's good if I make save, but sometimes you don't make. But you have to be ready to make the one.
Did you take any notice of what was happening earlier on this afternoon? We know Sheffield United ended up drawing their game at home.
Yeah. I just saw that Sheffield draw, but I didn't know about Stoke and Sunderland. But to be honest, doesn't matter. We just have focus on ourselves. Is the most important. Don't expect the other to do the job for you. Just do your job, and you will see at the end.
There were 2 difficult-looking away games these, and you've come through. You haven't conceded a goal. You've ended up with 6 points. Sets things up nicely for that next game, doesn't it?
Yeah. I just remember last season it wasn't the case. We lost twice, and this season, I knew that if you arrive to finish, the 26th and the 29th December with 2 wins, you will improve a lot in the table, and it's what we have done today. So many compliments to the team, because when you compare with the last season, it's a good improvement. So I'm very proud of that.
Quiet night, New Year's Eve for everybody?
Just say yes. Yeah, that's it.
Straightforward answer.
Let's go, yes.
It's not a trick question.
No.
Bed early.
Absolutely, as always.
As always. Well done, well played.
Well
Thank
done,
you,
excellent.
Ilan.
Well done, Ilan. Brilliant. Good man.
It's great to have the big guy on there. He's kept another clean sheet. And those clean sheets are almost... We've talked about this. They provide the foundation for what happens at the other end, don't they?
They do, and if you think back to last season, and part of this season as well, when we don't get that first goal, when they get the goal, then suddenly it becomes a very different game. We've had trouble then breaking teams down. But when we can keep that clean sheet, you're right, then it gives us the platform to go and get our goal. Because we always look like we can score, and there we finally showed it.
And as happened tonight, you've got guys waiting in the wings, literally in a couple of cases, to come on and change things if needs be.
And that's the beauty of our squad. We have got the biggest squad, the most balanced squad, and certainly in attacking areas, that's where our strength is. So to bring off the 3 players we did, and then to bring on, James, Solomon, it's a really good thing. Piroe, of course, it's a really good thing to be able to do. Defenders have worked really hard for 70 minutes. Then all these fresh legs come on. You just hope someone can take that chance.
And so, as we've just discussed there, you go into another home game with real momentum now.
You do. And it's interesting what Ilan said about what we did last Christmas and losing those 2 games. Well, we've turned that around. We've changed that. They know from experience, what went wrong last season. I think they're pretty determined to put it right. But at the same time, it's another game. Blackburn, we know, is going to be really difficult. We go again, but we're in a good position.
In a good position, and looking forward to hearing from Daniel Farke, no doubt, fairly soon.
Yeah, and as soon as the manager is ready, we will bring his reaction to you. Thanks to Bryn and Tony, along with Ilan there, who's having a quiet New Year's Eve, just in case there was any danger.
He didn't answer that very quickly. I was slightly concerned if I was manager.
It'll all be good. Let's just take a look at the save that he made, because it was an important one, and we saw this. We've seen this in a few games recently, making important saves. Joe Rodon spoke to us straight after the game at Stoke about the save that Ilan made at the start of that match, and he's gone and made another important one here. Probably not as difficult as the other one, but you've got to keep these out, don't you?
Well, we said before the game, didn't we, that he's not having a lot to do, but so he's got to keep his concentration, and he did. He sort of got plenty of bodies in around him there. They win the first contact, and it's one of them that he's made the right decision because he's kept it out. Maybe you think he could have caught it, but also you think it happens so quickly. Strong hands, gets it away from the goal, and he's alert to the situation, and that's what you need. As I said, when your goalkeepers are not having a lot to do, they have to keep the powers of concentration really high and make sure you don't have any slip-ups and give the opposition a little bit of hope, because that first goal was going to be so important tonight for either team.
OK, let's cross back to Pride Park so we can get the thoughts now of a very happy Leeds United manager, Daniel Farke.
Thanks, Rich. Yes, the manager is with us now. Daniel, you've got to be happy. That's big 3 points, isn't it?
Yes, these type of wins are the best. Tough away plays. They were in Redford home form recently. Tough period. We have to play all 3 days. Difficult pitch, and also tight game. Also we had in last minutes also to show steel and togetherness, and had to suffer a bit and also to defend. We're not used to defend anymore because we're just attacking. We didn't allow any chances, so it was a well-deserved win. But Normally you think in the second half we have missed too many good chances in order to win such a difficult away game. Yeah, but Leeds were brilliant and never stopped going. And then, yeah, I would say goal of the season is already scored. So what a team goal that was. I would put it straight away into my poetry album. So pretty happy with this. And yeah, great effort from Leeds, great performance, and obviously great 3 points.
Points great, yes. Performance good as well then.
Yes, we started on the front foot much more as compared to Stoke. Also, when you have realized how good Derby were in the last home games, really, and they played the opponents out of the park. We were all over them in the first half. Struggled a bit to make it count in the first half, but didn't allow any chances, any counterattacks. In the second half, even played better in terms of creating chances. Normally, the situation with Brennan, with Matteo, with Joe Rodon, with Daniel James, with Laji, Ramazani, we had so many good situations. Normally, we